Wrigleyville has been the place to be all season long, and it's another beautiful afternoon, and we are live from Wrigley Field for Chicago Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs had this place up for grabs last night, a scintillating comeback late. They go for their 7th straight win today as they host the Phillies. Updated standings in the Central. The Cubs have their biggest lead of the season, 6.5 over second place Milwaukee. And the Phillies losing last night, just 1 back in the East. Hi again, everyone. Bob Brenly and Len Casper with you. The Cubs don't want to make a habit out of being down 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th, but these are character building wins, and you just feel like they're never out of it.
And you know, Len, the offense gets all the credit for that tremendous comeback in the ball game last night, but without the bullpen, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to do what they did late in that game. Sean Marshall and Bob Howery both with a perfect inning before Kerry Wood came in to close it out.
And we've seen that on several occasions. The only way you get a chance really to come back is that your team holds their team.
Well, and it's not the guys that you're used to seeing at the tail end of a close ball game. Normally we'd see Samardzija, possibly Marmol leading up to Kerry Wood if the Cubs take a lead. Last night it was Marshall and Howery.
Rich Harden will get the start today for the Cubs. Joe Blanton, his former A's teammate, will start for the Phillies. Now down to the field and our national anthem with Wayne Messmer. Combination. Wayne Messmer on the vocals, Gary Pressey on the organ, and we are set to go. The Cubs are an incredible 50-19 here in the friendly confines. They go for their 85th win. Phillies and the Cubs coming up.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
we're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount
for everyone.
Take advantage of the discount and get the 2008 Chevy Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Tundra and F-150. That's right. Get this 2008 Silverado half-ton for around $20,500 after all offers.
Here at the River Bandits, interns do a little bit of everything. so I'm pretty busy. I check the inflatables, make sure the water's hot in the Joomer's hot tub, and the beer is cold in the concession stands. Because with 2-for-1 drinks every Thursday, we sell a lot of beer. I also help load fireworks, do sound checks for our free concerts, and water the cornfield. But mostly, my job is to make sure every fan is comfortable. Because at Modern Women Park, the most important person is you. My name's Emily. Come see me and all the River Bandits at Modern Women Park.
Adding a color? Let's start with some idea cards. That'll get you to the right one.
We're here because we've been there with the tools, products, and advice to get it done right. True Value. Start right, start here.
Get the right products and expert advice for your next painting project at K&K True Value. Start right, start here.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Chevy. Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today, ChevyDriveChicago.com. Midas for brakes, oil changes, tires, and more. Trust the Midas touch. Your Chicago area Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we want to give you the security to experience wellness everywhere. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Cadillac, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit. And by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field on a gorgeous day. And the Cubs now taking the field behind right-hander Rich Harden. No hangover, everybody's up. Sometimes after a night like last night, a little bit of a slow start, but there's a lot of energy already in this ballpark. Game conditions, low 80s, low humidity. And the wind keeps shifting, but a clear forecast as we check in on the Phillies Southwest starting lineup. Rollins, Victorino, and Utley at the top. Ryan Howard leading the league in home runs and RBIs, hits cleanup. Pat Burrell is batting fifth today. Jason Worth out in right. Greg Dobbs, a great pinch hitter. He gets a start at third. Ruiz and Blanton make up their battery.
Let's take a look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. Soriano, Edmonds, Fukudome across the outfield for the Cubs today. Last night's hitting star Ramos Ramirez at third base, Ryan Theriot at second, Mark DeRosa, or rather Ryan Theriot at short, Mark DeRosa at second, Derek Lee over at first base. Henry Blanco getting the nod behind the dish today for right-hander Rich Harden. Where they say that he has been good since coming over to the Cubs might be the understatement of the year. Has really handled this Phillies offensive roster coming into this ball game. 34 total at bats for the Phillies. Only 2 base hits, both coming off the bat of Shane Victorino. 15 strikeouts and only 1 walk against the Phillies this year.
Now the Kia umpires, Bill Welke will work the plate. His brother Tim is the crew chief and he's at second. We did not need to look at replay last night. And every game in baseball will now have replay for the umpires to utilize on boundary calls. Made history last night. The Phillies and the Cubs, the first game during which it could have been used if needed. So here's the switch batting Jimmy Rollins to start it against Rich Harden. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Harden. He hits a little tapper. Harden will pick it up. He'll run it right over to first base. 1 pitch and 1 out. Make that 2 pitches, 1 out. They have a strike on the scoreboard, so I'm thinking, did I miss a pitch? But no, that was the first pitch.
Yeah, you're right. That was the first pitch. Rich Harden takes it himself. Why risk a throw? He easily beats Jimmy Rollins to the bag. You mentioned that wind. It was blowing pretty much straight in from center field during batting practice today, but now blowing pretty much straight in from right field. One strike
on Shane Victorino. Conditions always changing. Temperatures down into the mid-70s. Very comfortable day. Popped up by Victorino. Terrio battling the sun, but he has a beat on it and makes a catch. 4 pitches, 2 outs. Now Chase Utley. Now that game was in Oakland when Rich Harden shut out the Phillies over his 8 innings. A lot of offers in this lineup. Numbers look pretty similar. He hasn't gone 8 yet with the Cubs, but 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. I mean, that's what Cubs fans have almost come to expect from Harden, as he just plunked Utley for the first base runner. And he'll have to face Ryan Howard.
It's kind of surprising. Only the second batter that Rich Harden has plunked all year long, trying to establish that he will come inside with that fastball to the left-handed hitting Utley. He's got it in there a little too far.
So 2 down, Utley at first, and the Cubs shift to the pull side against Ryan Howard. We noticed during batting practice he was swinging a bat that had a donut on it, and he was making good contact on the barrel of the bat. I didn't see the ball hit the donut.
Well, I've seen guys do that before, Len. I think it's a very dangerous proposition. If you miss hit a ball off the side of that donut, it could very possibly ricochet right back into your own face. And most of the bat companies are more than willing to make an overweight bat for guys to use in batting practice. Kosuke Fukudome uses a very heavy bat in batting practice before switching to his game bat, but Ryan Howard just had that red donut on his bat.
That's high on a changeup. Ninth start for Rich as a member of the Cubs. Changeup strike, 2-1. His 22nd start overall on the season. If you combine his numbers, his earned run average is right at 2. It's 147 with the Cubs. Has worked with Henry Blanco a couple of times previously. Henry in there for Giovanni Soto today. Three and 2.
So much for a predictable fastball count. A 3-1 changeup. Ryan Howard way out in front.
There goes Utley on the 3-2 pitch. It's just off the inside corner. And now they have 2 on for Pat Burrell.
Just off the plate inside. Yeah, it's been my experience with home plate umpire Bill Welke. He's more likely to give you a pitch on the outside corner or maybe a little bit off the outside corner, but rarely will call that pitch off the plate inside.
Burrell went 0 for 5 in game 1, just 1 for his last 21. Fastball that time at 88. 1 ball, no strikes. Cubs with their 6.5 game lead in the Central, their largest lead in a division since they finished the 1984 season, with a 6.5 game lead over the Mets in the old National League East. Blanco out to chat with Harden. 2-0 on Burrell, who always seems to work himself into a hitter's count.
That's something you don't want to do too often against this Phillies offense. Put yourself in those hitters' counts, although Rich Harden does have that changeup that he's willing to throw in any count.
Fouled back. He had a good rip at a fastball. Well, this place was jumping last night when Aramis hit the big grand slam in the 8th. Back in it now, 2-2. It's a foul ball. Second of a 7-game homestand. All day games through Monday. Another full count, 3-2. Cubs will finish up the homestand with 2 night games against the Astros Tuesday and Wednesday. Houston will come in on Labor Day for a 3:05 start. Harden has a sign from Blanco. The runners go on the 3-2 pitch, and we'll do it again.
What started out appearing to be a very quick pitch inning has turned into a lot more than Rich Harden and the Cubs had hoped for, but it's to be expected against this Phillies lineup. They're very aggressive swingers, but yet they work a lot of deep counts.
Runners on the move once again. There's a base hit to left, and the Phillies will get the lead once again in the first inning. They got one last night against Ryan Dempster. Pat Burrell with his 76th RBI. And again, all this happening after 2 were out.
The runners on the move on the 3-2 pitch. Good movement on that changeup, but Pat Burrell's a real good low ball hitter. When you have your choice, you'd rather pitch him in rather than away, up rather than down, and that time the changeup was out over the plate and down, and Burrell just hooked it through the left side of the infield for a base hit.
Worth got on base 3 times last night, a walk and 2 doubles, and he scored a run. Strike 1. Only matinee, everything else tonight. Full schedule in the majors will be under the lights, including the Brewers at the Pirates. The Cardinals are in Houston, and the Mets will be in Florida. The 0-2 pitch is too high, 1-2. Well, he was cruising right along, 4 pitches to get the first 2 outs. But then after hitting Utley, he has had some trouble. Swing and a miss. Harden finally gets out of it with a changeup to strike out Worth. 24 pitches in the opening inning as the Phillies get a run. Cubs coming up.
It's Toyota's National Clearance Event, the perfect time for amazing deals and selection. And through Labor Day weekend, get great deals in SUVs like the RAV4. Lease one now for just $199 a month. Or get the 2008 Highlander with 0% APR financing for 60 months. Or get a 2008 4Runner with low 0% APR for 60 months. So don't miss this opportunity to save big at the Toyota National Clearance Event. Hurry into your Toyota dealer today.
When this hotel added Aflac to complement their benefits package, it made a big splash with the employees. Find out more at forbusiness.com.
Hey Cubs fans, are you looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the friendly confines with StubHub. There's always a ticket available to a Cubs game.
Clearance, clearance, clearance. Now, my mom always said if it's important, repeat it. The 2008 model year-end clearance at Libertyville, Mitsubishi.
Right now, get 0 APR for up to 72 months on new Eclipses, Endeavors, and more. Buy a 30 MPG brand new Lancer for only $179 a month.
Bob Rohrman. It's clearance time, and you owe it to yourself. Bob Rohrman's Libertyville, Mitsubishi on Milwaukee Avenue, Libertyville.
Cubs have won 6 in a row. They're 84-50. Season high 6.5 game advantage in the division. Now there's Southwest starting lineup: Soriano, Terrio, and Lee. They set up that grand slam by Ramirez in the 8th. Jim Edmonds back in the lineup against the right-hander. DeRosa working on a 10-game hitting streak, also with an extra base hit in 8 straight. Kosuke in right, Henry Blanco back of the plate, Rich Harden doing the pitching.
Take a quick look at the Phillies defensively. Burrow, Victorino, and Worth across the outfield. Dobbs, Rollins, Utley, and Howard across the infield. Carlos Ruiz behind the plate today with a big right-hander, Joe Blanton. 6'3", 255 pounds. You see his combined numbers with the A's and the Phillies this year. Right-handers hitting considerably better than lefties against Joe Blanton.
Big swing and a miss at a fastball, 2 strikes on the Cubs leadoff man. We've talked about the Cubs record with Soriano batting first. They're 58-23 when he hits leadoff. They're a game under 500 when he doesn't. It has included a couple of DL stints this season. Blanton's put together 6'3", 256 pounds. He's from Nashville, Tennessee. Fouled back. He was actually born in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and he went to the University of Kentucky and was a first-round pick of the A's in 2002. Up and in on Soriano, 2-2.
We talked about it with Cole Hamels last night, and Blanton right out of the same mold. He likes to pitch inside to the right-handed hitters. He's only hit 2 batters all season long, so he is capable of pitching inside, much like Cole Hamels last night.
Soriano with previous time in the American League. As that gets past the catcher, almost hit Alfonso. So he started that at bat 0-2, and he ends up taking the leadoff walk.
It very nearly got plunked by this one. I just said he's only hit 2 batters all year, and ran one right at the logo of Alfonso Soriano. Somehow manages to get out of the way as the ball goes all the way to the backstop.
He's going to fire over to first.
I'll tell you, Len, there's a lot of good number 2 hitters in baseball, but I don't think anybody benefits from having that leadoff man get on more than Ryan Terrio. Takes that first base defense out of the equation because Ryan Howard has to hold on Alfonso Soriano over there. Chase Utley cheating a little bit up the middle of the field in anticipation of a possible double play. Creates that huge vacuum on the right side where we know Ryan Terrio likes to hit the ball.
Called strike at the knees, 0-2. Terrio facing Blanton for the first time. Only 2 Cubs in the lineup today with previous experience. check out the scouting report.
Yeah, I mentioned Blanton will pitch inside. You see his combined numbers with the A's and the Phillies versus righties and lefties. Basically fastball slider. He will throw an occasional curve, occasional straight changeup, but mostly is going to rely on his best two pitches, his fastball and his slider.
Golfed high in the air out into right center, and it's Shane Victorino to make the catch. That's the first out, and it brings up D. Lee. He took a key walk to load the bases before Ramirez hit the game-winning grand slam in the 8th.
Glenn does not have a particularly good pickoff move to first base, but he is extremely quick to home plate. He surrendered only one stolen base all season.
Cubs are 17-8 against the East as Soriano runs, and Ruiz basically whiffed. It hit his glove. It went all the way to the backstop. Soriano with his 17th stolen base.
Because Fonzie was on the move, he'll be credited with a stolen base there. If he was holding his ground at first and this happens, I have to believe that would have been a pass ball on Carlos Ruiz. Like he might have been crossed up by that pitch, which is really unusual with just a runner at first base.
The 1-0 is pulled foul and out of the bullpen. Speaking of which, in the safe spot today would be Carlos Marmol, after Kerry Wood worked in 4 straight games and 4 straight days.
Always found it ironic that the guys who play the game for a living get the heck out of the way when the ball comes in there, and the fans can't wait to get in front of it.
It's because they're resting. Edgar Tovar, one of the Cubs bullpen catchers, saying that was a little bit too close for comfort. Driven deep to right center for Derek Lee. Worth is going to catch it on the warning track. Soriano went back to tag. No relay throw by Utley. The wind not helping Derek on a day like this and on a drive like that. So he makes a loud out. Runner at third, 2 down.
A pretty good chance that ball gets up in the bleachers last night when the wind was blowing out towards center field, but blowing straight in from right, that ball just got up there and died. Soriano had gone halfway, but because Worth was so deep in right center field, it gave him an opportunity to go back, tag up, and advance on to third.
Big hand for last night's hero, Aramis Ramirez. Said after the game he takes great pride in being able to knock in runs and likes being in those big spots late in ball games. We should note the Philly bullpen is first in the National League in earned run average and first in the majors in wins. But they now have lost back-to-back games going back to Wednesday night against the Mets. So it's not like the Cubs got into the weakness of the Phillies staff. They had been very, very good prior to the last couple of days. 3-0 the count. Now they're 60-0 when they go into the 9th with the lead. They have Brad Lidge as their closer. They're 50-9 when they lead going into the 8th. So their blown leads late in ball games have come kind of in that setup area. 3-1.
And we know from past experiences that when your bullpen blows those late leads, there's nothing more demoralizing.
Swing and a miss. I think he chased a little bit on a slider in a 3-1 count. Well, they're without Tom Gordon, who is on the disabled list with right elbow inflammation. Guys like Madsen and Durbin had been good. Not last night. Right back to the pitcher Blanton. He'll run it halfway over. Now the flip to Howard to get out of the inning. Leadoff walk, a stolen base, no runs as Soriano is stranded at third. 1-0 Phillies after 1.
I'm feeling fine whenever you shine. Give me a light, make it alright.
They say the sun shines a little brighter in Florida. See why. Fly Southwest Airlines from Chicago Midway to the Sunshine State for just $89 or $99 one way. Go to southwest.com/Florida to book your trip today.
You are now free to move about the country.
Freshen up your home with Owens Corning and Menards. Stone veneer from Owens Corning is all on sale. Modulo stone veneer will give your home a distinctive new look inside and out. 11 styles to choose from, only $479 a square foot. Protect your hands with ironclad work gloves. Right now, they're all 33% off. Choose from multiple sizes and styles. Menards, dedicated to service and quality.
Save big money at Menards.
The event is now on. But it won't last forever. The Lexus Summer Sales Event, where you'll find the best values of the year now through September 2nd. Lease the 2008 ES350 for $399 a month for 36 months for $34.99 due at signing.
Well, we talked last night about instant replay, now available to the umpires. The crew chief has all the power. If he feels on a home run call or a non-home run call that was close, this is where he goes through the Cubs dugout into the bowels of the stadium. Take a little left, knock on the door. Tom Farinella, the umpire room attendant, will say, "Hi, come on in." They'll open that box. There's the monitor. The phone will connect with Baseball Advanced Media in New York. And Larry Young, the umpire supervisor here last night, says there's no time limit, but they hope that it takes no more than about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, and in the umpire's judgment so far this 2008 baseball season, they estimate that there's been about 18 potential reviewable home run calls. So we're looking at a technology that may or may not come into effect at all the remainder of the year.
You know, I saw a note in one of the stories in the clips today. Here's a 2-0 to Greg Dobbs. That missed, 3 balls, no strikes. Mentioning the Giovanni Soto inside the park home run. We think it should have been called a home run that it hit to the right of the yellow line at Minute Maid Park in Houston. But the way that one played out, I don't think they would have reviewed it because it was a home run anyway. Swing and a miss. So Harden's back in at 3-2, and as we said at the time, it was better in the end that Gio got the home run the hard way. Broken bat, fly ball out to right, and it's caught by Kosuke.
And I think back to the first inning, which seems like a long time ago, but you know, Rich Harden, because he relies so heavily on that straight changeup, it's very important that he gets the right split between his fastball and his changeup. And we saw a lot of his changeups were just barely fouled off in that first inning. it may take him an inning or two to get the feel for that pitch, take the right amount off to get the swinging strikes as opposed to the foul tips that keep the at bat going.
One and one. Now 2 balls and a strike. Fouled back. That was a fastball at 91. We talk so much about pitchers using their fastball to set up their off speed and their breaking balls, but Rich Harden again can use his changeup early on for strikes, but if he's not getting it over, it makes it more difficult. Do you think, I think I know the answer, I'll ask it anyway, is his changeup as important as his fastball? Or is the fastball still the most important pitch even for Rich Harden?
Well, I'll tell you, it's pretty close to being equally important. I mean, there's no question his changeup is his out pitch, the one he goes to when he's looking to get a swing and a miss from the batter. But it has to be a changeup off of something. If you throw all changeups, it's not going to be nearly as effective as occasionally popping that fastball up there in the high 80s, low 90s. Giving that hitter a speed to gauge and then going back to the changeup to disrupt the timing of the hitter. I think they're probably equally important for Rich Harden.
That's a great answer. I thought you'd say no, the fastball is always the most important pitch, but he's rare in that case. As many sliders as Carlos Marmol throws, we've been saying all year that really comes back to his fastball, and that's the big thing here in the second half. He's gotten the command of his heater back. Can you think of another pitcher that you faced, that you've managed, whose fastball maybe was equally as important as another pitch in his repertoire as opposed to just the heater as he walked Ruiz?
I think back to Mario Soto with the Cincinnati Reds. He was a guy that relied on fastballs and straight changeups. And then, of course, there's been a long series of changeup pitchers. Guys like John Tudor back in the days with the St. Louis Cardinals. Had a very average fastball, but had a plus changeup. But both pitches were equally important. You needed to have both of them working to be effective.
There's a bunt by Blanton, and he'll be thrown out lead to DeRosa. So Ruiz is now in scoring position with 2 outs for Jimmy Rollins, who's 1 for 5 in the series, hit a sac fly last night.
Nicely executed by Joe Blanton. His 4th sacrifice bunt on the season. Just deadens that ball on the right side. The only play D. Lee has is to go on to first base.
Now, almost inherent in what you're saying about fastball changeup pitchers, that they would both be equally as important, is that you do need your fastball to make your changeup effective. It's almost in the definition of the very pitch.
It has to be a changeup off of something. And this is open for debate, and pitching coaches have different theories and different ideas, but I was always told never to throw a first pitch changeup, because what is it different than? The hitter hasn't seen your fastball yet. Now Rich Harden is the exception to just about every rule when you talk about a changeup, because he sells the pitch so well. He's not afraid to throw it in any count. He can throw it for a strike. He can throw it out of the strike zone. So we should probably just leave him out of this discussion.
And he can throw it hard. He can throw his changeup. That one was at 83. He can get it up to 88, 89. Which is a decent fastball for a lot of pitchers, and it has more movement. Let's put it this way. He can throw his changeup off his changeup, if that makes any sense. Well, he's walked a couple here in this inning.
It's kind of ironic. On the MLB.com website, they've got a picture of Joe Blanton and Rich Harden, former teammates, matching up here in this game today, and both of them throwing changeups. You can clearly see the changeup grip for both pitchers.
Fastball at 89, caught the inside part of the plate on Victorino, 1 strike. Hit foul off to the left. Quickly 0-2. He got Victorino to pop out to Terrio in the first inning. A glorious Friday afternoon leading you into the Labor Day weekend. Called strike 3. Throws him on a fastball on the inside corner. And Harden escapes. He walked 2 in the inning. He's walked 3 in the first 2, and he's down 1-0.
What can I get you? MGD 64. Got it?
Oh, I'll have 64 calories of a Michelob Ultra.
Okay. Yeah. We got food, we got burgers, we got dogs, we got salad.
12 ounces, 64 calories. MGD 64. As light as it gets.
Fuel efficiency. Durability. Safety. Of all the great things Nissan brings you, this is the most thrilling. The bottom line. Nissan's model year-end sales event. Get $1,500 cash back on the 33 MPG Sentra or $199 lease on the 32 MPG Altima. Event ends September 2nd. That's the bottom line. Nissan.
This man will die. This man will kill him. And in 5 seconds, the body count will rise.
4, 3, 2, 1.
On September 5th, things are getting dangerous. Nicolas Cage. Bangkok Dangerous. Rated R. In theaters everywhere September 5th.
MGD 64.
I'll have a vodka cranberry 64.
12 ounces, 64 calories. MGD 64. As light as it gets.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. Rico, move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. And by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
It'll be Jim Edmonds to lead off the Cubs' second. Snapped an 0 for 18 Tuesday night in Pittsburgh with 3 hits. Hoping the late success of Aramis Ramirez is going to rub off on him. He had an Aramis Ramirez t-shirt as he went to the batting cage today. Not a bad idea. Swing and a miss. Aramis has hit 4 homers and knocked in 15 runs over his last 6 games. In that ball game, I said Tuesday was Monday in Pittsburgh. Edmonds had a triple and 2 doubles to get out of his slump. 3-1. Called strike. DeRosa and Fukudome to follow. There's a roller sending Utley over to his right. He backhands and throws to first. Here comes DeRosa. 16 hits during a 10-game hitting streak. He has an extra base hit in 8 consecutive games. At one point, he had a home run in 4 in a row. Here's the Menards big lumber stat, 421 during the hit streak. High in the air for Worth. Still on the move into foul territory, and he couldn't get it. Had to navigate around the bullpen mound and had a brick wall right in front of him. I think he was beyond the padding. Let's see.
Yeah, that's definitely a deterrent for making an aggressive defensive play out there around that bullpen. You've got the mounds, you've got the bullpen phone, you got a brick wall. And you got a lot of help from the fans down there. You're all right, plenty of room. You watch Carlos Ruiz, even with nobody on base. Now that time he just gave one sign, but he's been giving a series of signs as DeRosa hits the deck. Given a series of signs even with nobody on base, which tells me that the Phillies are either very paranoid, they think maybe somebody's stealing signs out in the scoreboard, because generally with nobody on base, the catcher just hangs down whatever pitch he wants that pitcher to deliver. Occasionally with the runner at first, you'll see a catcher go through a series of signs, and definitely with the runner at second, they go through a series.
Called strike 3, got him on the slider. I think you said it, Bob. Blanton's not afraid to throw in. We've already seen that on a couple of occasions. And it sure looked like that fastball set up a breaking ball to get DeRosa. Strike 1 on Kosuke. Outside. Well, when the season began, Joe Blanton threw the first pitch in the majors in 2008. He was the A's opening day starter on March 25th against Boston in Tokyo. Rich Harden pitched game 2. Fouled back.
Yeah, Blanton had a rough go of it early on this season when you think about who he opposed. He had Daisuke Matsusaka in his first 2 starts of the regular season. He faced Cliff Lee in his 3rd start and CC Sabathia in his 4th start.
And the way the schedule worked out, they played Boston their first 4 games and had several days in between the games in Japan and then the games in Oakland. So it was Blanton, Harden in their first 4 games. Off the end of the bat, in the air, it's Burrell to make the catch, and the Cubs go down quietly in the second. 1, 2, 3. It's 1-0 Phillies.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
we're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount
for everyone.
Take advantage of the discount and get the 2008 Chevy Malibu with better city fuel economy than Accord and Camry. That's right. Get this 2008 Chevy Malibu LS for around $19,000.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Here at the River Bandits, interns do a little bit of everything. So I'm pretty busy. I check the inflatables, make sure the water's hot in the Joomer's hot tub, and the beer is cold in the concession stands. Because with 2-for-1 drinks every Thursday, we sell a lot of beer. I also help load fireworks, do sound checks for our free concerts, and water the cornfield. But mostly my job is to make sure every fan is comfortable. Because at Modern Women Park, the most important person is you. My name's Emily. Come see me and all the River Bandits at Modern Women Park.
If you need to tow it, Quad City Spring has it. Quad City Spring is the area's suspension, spring, truck accessory, and towing experts. From goosenecks and fifth wheels to every kind of hitch imaginable, including Blue Ox base plates and tow bars, strong as an ox. And Quad City Spring installs and services everything they sell. So tow it right. Get your ride to Quad City Spring. Quad City Spring, 34th Street at River Drive in Moline.
Tomorrow is Discount Tire Day here at Wrigley Field. Don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Phillies at 2:55. 9 lucky fans with their ticket stubs will win a free set of tires, compliments of Discount Tire Company, America's largest tire store since 1950. Chase Utley has scored the only run to this point. He was hit by a pitch with 2 outs in the first inning. And 2 batters later, he was driven in by Pat Burrell on a single. Well, Rich Harden, almost 50 pitches through 2 innings. Up and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. The win he had in Oakland against the Phillies was the only previous time he had faced this ball club. Blanton today making his Wrigley Field debut. He had never faced the Cubs. Harden was traded in early July, July 8th. And Blanton 9 days later, July 17th. Swing, and he missed it. 3rd strikeout for Harden. Now it's Ryan Howard who walked his first time.
Here's the exaggerated defensive shift once again. Mark DeRosa playing shallow right field. Ryan Theriot playing shallow center field. Aramis Ramirez, the Maytag repairman, on the left side of the infield.
We want to send out get well wishes to Dennis Gates, one of our replay operators recovering from surgery. Dennis, we hope you're feeling better. And back out here at the ballpark real soon. One and 2 coming up in a couple of weeks. The anniversary of 9/11. The Welcome Back Veterans Initiative has been undertaken by Major League Baseball charities and the McCormick Foundation. Tom Hanks is the spokesperson. MLB will feature Welcome Back veterans again this 9/11. Every player in baseball will wear blue hats with the Stars and Stripes team logo. Two and 2 on Ryan Howard. The pitch outside. He has run it full. Fifth full count already for Harden. Busted bat floater, but it's going to stay up there for Edmonds. Bob, one of the ceremonial first pitches today was thrown out by 7-year-old Wrigley Fields.
Very nice.
from Lockport, Illinois. Well, Rich could really use a 1-2-3 inning, considering all the pitches he's thrown.
That's the changeup that almost looks like a slider. Downward movement and some lateral movement away from the right-handed hitting Pat Pearl.
Foul tip, strike 3, and he does get that 1-2-3 inning. Hart now has sent down 4 straight. Still 1-0 Phillies.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
for everyone.
Plus, get the best coverage in America on Pontiac G6 with better combined fuel efficiency than Honda Accord. And now get a 2008 G6 sedan starting at $16,720. See your local Buick, Pontiac, GMC dealers.
Bank of America offers the opportunity to see Wrigley Field like you never have before. Take a 90-minute guided tour and check out the press box, locker room, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates and can be purchased by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or by visiting Cubs.com.
Get on the fast track to your dreams with AT&T Advanced TV, which offers a wide selection of programming and more HD channels than cable. AT&T U-verse TV lets you record up to 4 shows at once on one DVR, unlike cable, up to 120 hours of programming. You can even get up to $100 cash back on qualifying combined TV and internet plans, or double your cash back and get up to $200 when you order online.
Are you working on your research?
Of course. AT&T is a proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices on the world's best brands, like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich.
Pro Football Preview is back. Sean Merriman joins Jay Glazer and Eddie George every week to break down all the biggest stories. Pro Football Preview returns September 5th.
Final voting for the Baby Ruth Ultimate 7th Inning Stretch Competition is not only going on now, but it wraps up later today as Henry Blanco swings and misses. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. Cubs trail 1-0. The voting will wrap up at 5 o'clock Central Time today. Go to Cubs.com and help us determine who you think should sing the 7th inning stretch coming up Monday. Ruiz will give it a look, and he will not have a play. 10 finalists, and they'll all be here Monday. They will announce the winner before the first pitch, and the winner will come up and conduct the stretch and hang with us for the 7th. Henry pops it up, and it's Jimmy Rollins shading his eyes, making the catch. Hey, Cubs fans, Cubs games are now on Comcast Sportsnet on demand. Comcast customers go to digital channel 999 and look for Comcast Sportsnet and watch Cubs games on demand. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Cubs games on demand, not available in all areas. One and one. Knocked down, kick save by Blanton, and he'll throw out Rich Hart, and I'm sure they'll have a laugh about that down the road, these two good friends and former teammates.
Rich Hart's going to tell him, get out of the way. You see pitchers attempt this all the time, that kick save, but Blanton catches it right on top of his right shoe. It drops in front, turns into an easy out at first base. And fortunately for the Phillies, that ball wasn't hit particularly hard.
He's not smiling now, but you know at some point he will, as he discusses it with Rich Hart. It was a good play, but in about 5 years, Joe Blanton will say it's the greatest play ever made defensively. It'll just keep growing and growing and growing.
A little tapper back to the mound will turn into a rocket line drive.
Gave you bad info earlier. He was born in Nashville, Tennessee, but he went to high school in Kentucky. Made the varsity baseball team at Franklin Simpson High School in Brownsville, Kentucky, when he was in the 7th grade. So he got a varsity letter 6 years. Not bad.
Sounds like the Chinese gymnastics team. Starting early on his high school career.
One time he was Mr. Baseball in the state of Kentucky. As we said, he played collegiately at the University of Kentucky.
As did Diamondbacks ace pitcher Brandon Webb. Although Brandon Webb didn't pitch a lot at the University of Kentucky, he really didn't totally blossom until he signed to play professional baseball, and obviously one of the best pitchers in the league now.
2-2 to Soriano, a swing and a miss. That's the inning. Blanton's been very sharp. Leadoff walk in the first. That's the only base runner the Cubs have had. Still 1-0.
So I can pick any 5 of those items for just $5.95.
Yes, sir. They're all classics.
What about an Arby's Melt soft drink, mozzarella sticks, curly fries, and a Jamocha shake?
$5.95.
What about fries, an Arby's Melt, mozzarella sticks, a turnover, and a Jamocha shake?
$5.95.
What about 3 Arby's Melts, 1 mozzarella sticks?
And a Jamocha shake?
No, thank you. I'll have 5 curly fries.
The Arby's Pick 5 for $5.95 deal. So amazing, it'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
I am your idea, and I'm huge. Tab me, bind me, stack me, send me round. I'm your big idea. You can't stop this. I'm your biggest idea. Enrico moves me, shows me, sends me. Leaves me behind, but never in a bind. It's the big time. I'm your big idea. Enrico's how we go and go and go.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. Which is why we developed full synthetic Pennzoil Platinum with active cleansing agents to clean out up to 46% of sludge in the first oil change. That's 3 times better than the leading conventional oil. Pennzoil Platinum Motor Oil. Our ultimate clean for your ultimate feeling. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Friday at Chicago Tribune Live, we're talking everything baseball with Todd Hollinsworth. We'll break down the Cubs matchup with the Phillies, plus we'll preview the Sox battle with the Red Sox. That plus the latest on the Bears, Friday at 5:30.
Time for today's Aflac trivia question. Last season in the NFL, what percentage of plays were overturned due to replay? Just by way of comparison. Replay much more advanced in the National Football League. The question is, how many times did they make a call and then had clear, conclusive evidence to overturn that call? Two and nothing on Jason Worth. Rich Harden has struggled with his command early on in counts. Faced 15 hitters. He's only thrown a first pitch strike to 8 of them. Just a little bit better than 50%. And he just walked Worth to start the 4th inning. Well, Lou had his 65th birthday yesterday. It looked like his team was not going to come through on his big day, but they did late. Ended up being a great birthday present. Greg Dobbs is 0 for 8 with 2 strikeouts against Harden, but Rich has missed on the first 5 pitches of the inning.
I'm pretty sure that meeting with Henry Blanco had nothing to do with mechanics or anything like that. Sometimes the best thing you can do as a catcher is just run out there, give the pitcher a little bit of a breather and say, okay, let's start over now. Get the ball down into the strike zone, let your defense work behind you.
Phillies got a run in the first. They rallied with 2 outs and eventually got an RBI single from Pat Burrell. There's the first strike of the inning. 1-1.
Well, we talked about this Phillies ball club in the first game of the series last night. Rare combination of power and speed, and the guy running at first base is one of their speed guys. 13 out of 14 stolen base attempts on the year for Jason Worth.
The Cubs now lead the National League in earned run average at 3.75. The Dodgers had been leading, but they have lost 7 in a row. They gave up 11 runs in losing to the Washington Nationals again last night. Christian Guzman hit for the cycle for the Nationals. The Dodgers have lost 7 straight and 9 in a row on the road. They're fortunate the Diamondbacks have lost 4 straight, and the Dodgers and D-backs will start a big series in Arizona tonight, with the Diamondbacks leading that division by 3.5. Runner at first, nobody out. 2-2 on Greg Dobbs. Worth faked towards second, and Dobbs hits it foul. For Dobbs, this is his 31st start at third base.
Well, he's been a pinch hitter supreme for Charlie Manuel. 21 pinch hits on the season, including 2 home runs. He's driven in 16 runs off the bench.
DeRosa goes out, but it'll be Kosuke running hard. He makes a waist-high catch, throw to first, gets past Lee. No, Derek made a nice play to flag it down. I thought it was going to get by him.
Like Derek was a little surprised that Kosuke made that throw. He is running full speed one direction, throws back across his body to first base. I think it might have caught Derek by surprise a little bit. He had to come off the bag late to make the play on that throw that was offline. We should not be surprised by anything Kosuke does defensively out there in right field. It's a tough play for the runner at first base. He's not sure if the ball is going to drop or not, so he takes that extra step or 2 towards second base. And when Kosuke made that running catch, he was out there in no man's land.
And on the other end, Derek has such great reach. Talk about wingspan. He's 6'5", Those long arms, big first baseman's glove. Nothing against Ronnie Belliard, but I think if he had been playing first, that ball probably would have gotten by him. Off the inside corner. 2-1. Then again, Ronnie Belliard is not a Chicago Cub. It was strange to see him over there, though, for the Nationals. Ramirez with a short throw to DeRosa, gets taken out at second base. So Jason Worth, like a clean play. A hard but clean play. And we'll get another look at it. 2 outs.
Yeah, kind of slow developing. Ramirez takes 3 or 4 steps before throwing the ball on to Mark DeRosa. That gives Jason Worth 3 or 4 more steps closer to second base, and fortunately no damage done right there. Mark DeRosa had both feet firmly planted in the dirt when Worth hit him. That's when you get concerned about blowing out a knee or an ankle out there at second base. That's why you see middle infielders, when they turn a double play, they try to get up off the ground, so if they do get hit by that sliding runner, their feet are free. They may get flipped, they may end up on the ground, but they won't do any damage to their legs.
Blanton flails at a changeup. 2 strikes. First time up, he laid down a sac bunt. Harden has a sign from Blanco. Now the pitch. A pop up on the left side. It's Ramirez. And that's the inning. Aramis will hit third. Coming up, Terry O'Lee and Ramirez for the Cubs, who trail 1-0.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
We're not going anywhere until our demands are met!
What are we gonna do now?
Hello, Jimmy John's?
Who ordered Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's, America's sandwich delivery experts.
It's Toyota's National Clearance Event, the perfect time for amazing deals and selection. Come in now and get low 0% APR financing on the best-selling compact truck, the 2008 Tacoma. Or get the 2008 Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Tundra, with 0% financing for 60 months with $1,000 bonus cash. Or choose $5,000 customer cash. So don't miss this opportunity to save big at the Toyota National Clearance Event. Hurry into your Toyota dealer today.
Time to answer today's Aflac trivia question. Last season in the NFL, what percentage of plays were overturned due to replay? 38%. Coaches can challenge plays in the NFL. So thanks to Elias Sports Bureau for supplying that information. So we'll see if and when replay is used on boundary calls, whether it will simply confirm what the umpires have already determined, or if they'll see something that they didn't see the first time around.
Whatever. Nice hat.
Just a little mid-afternoon nap. Here's Terrio against Blanton. Bottom 4, 1-0 Philadelphia. Cubs without a hit through 3. Back to that note about high school. I know it's only high school, but I'm sure it helped Joe Blanton's confidence when he was in 7th grade. He was playing against 17 and 18-year-olds. I guess his hometown was just so small. That's why his high school allowed 7th and 8th graders to participate. Called strike 3. Terrio not happy at all. Letting Bill Welke know about it.
I rarely see Ryan say anything to a plate umpire on a called strike.
Lou not thrilled either.
He appeared to be down, and Ruiz did not help Joe Blanton at all. The way he caught that ball, pushing it further toward the ground. It definitely was low when it crossed the front of the plate, and even lower when he received it.
Lee hit it hard, but Utley makes the play. Just like that, 2 outs.
Umpires don't really appreciate it when catchers take those borderline pitches and push them further out of the strike zone. A couple of guys tell me, hey, you're killing me back here. You got to catch that ball better than that if you want to get the call. That's something we pointed out for Giovanni Soto and Henry Blanco repeatedly this year. A lot of borderline pitches that they've been able to get their glove around and receive the ball as they're pushing it back toward the middle of the strike zone, making it appear better than it really is. Well, the opposite can be true as well. You take a borderline pitch and push it further out of the zone, and you're not going to get too many of those calls.
And as you say many, many times, it's not where it's caught, it's where it crosses the plate. But every telecast is going to show a replay, and the umpires would rather have, as you said, the catchers frame it properly so it looks better. There's the first Cubs hit. Comes with 2 outs in the 4th off the bat of Aramis Ramirez. You know, along those lines, Bob, you talk about framing pitches. I don't even know how good a look the umpire gets at the back of the glove. Not having been down there watching a 95-mile-an-hour heater from right behind the catcher. Not the easiest thing in the world, though, to figure out where it was when it crossed the plate, considering it's a fraction of a second.
And some catchers, just because of their physical stature and the way they sit behind home plate, they don't give an umpire as good a look as other catchers who are able to really fold up, get down low, and give a small target. I was taught very early on in my catching career, and some of the umpires that I worked in front of confirmed this. As soon as a catcher turns his glove fingers down to catch a ball, the umpire assumes that that pitch is too low to be called a strike.
Interesting.
That's why you'll see many times a catcher will go almost all the way down to the ground with his fingers up on the catcher's mitt rather than turn the glove over with fingers down.
Two and two. Giovanni Soto available off the bench today as Henry Blanco is getting the start. It was close. Edmonds got the benefit of that call. 3-2. Here's a pitch with a runner going. Popped up into shallow center. Rollins has a beat on it, and that's the inning. Cubs get the first hit with 2 outs in the 4th, but they're still being blanked by Blanton. It's 1-0 Phillies.
Maintaining a luxury vehicle can cost thousands, unless you drive a BMW. We're the only luxury brand that lets you pay nothing for maintenance for 4 years or 50,000 miles. Take advantage of 0.9% financing.
So, you're a green person, but which shade? Confusing, isn't it? Well, True Value's Color Made Simple can help. With exclusive tools, trained professionals, and expert advice, finding your color will always be simple. Now let's talk purple. True Value's Color Made Simple.
Meeting the challenge since 1940.
If it's got a motor.
We've bought 2 vehicles already from Clinton Motor Works and can't begin to say how great each experience was. The selection and service is terrific.
Did you say service? That's where I come in.
That's right. We not only buy our vehicles here, we service them here as well. From our Kia sedan to our top-of-the-line BMW. We trust Clinton Motor Works with all of our maintenance and repair. These guys actually let us know what's going on before we spend our money.
Don't get the runaround somewhere else. To be the next truly satisfied sales and service customer, we'll see you soon at Clinton Motor Works.
If it's got a motor.
Rise every morning only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work, and by the Toyota Tundra. Visit whytundra.com to find out why the Toyota Tundra is a great way to keep moving forward.
Sign up for a subscription to Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Vineline offers exclusive player features, team analysis, and minor league coverage in print and now available online through the Cubs Club on Cubs.com. Visit the Cubs official website to order Vineline today. Top of the order now for the Phillies as Jimmy Rollins taps it foul. Rollins 0 for 1. He did walk in the second. It just says so much about how good Rich Harden is. He has not been particularly sharp today, and he's only given up 1 run through 4 innings. He's only given up 1 hit through 4 innings.
Now, there are a number of starting pitchers in Major League Baseball who are capable of going out there on a day when they have less than their best and still beating you, but most of them don't dominate when they don't have their best stuff.
Nice play by Derek Lee. A sharply hit grounder. 1 out.
Knocks it down, takes it himself to first base.
Caught him on the heel, but he kept it in front of him. Shane Victorino was a Rule 5 pick from the Dodgers in December of '04. It's worked out pretty well for the Phillies. Sixth round pick of the Dodgers in 1999. Padres grabbed him in the Rule 5 in '02.
Now, Victorino's a real nice piece on a ball club. A switch hitting center fielder that runs extremely well, has surprising pop in his bat with 11 home runs this season. A stellar defense out in center, covers a lot of ground. And he's a disruptor. He's one of those guys, when he gets on base, he commands a certain amount of attention from the pitcher and the catcher. So the ideal thing is to keep him off the bases.
Somebody made a great catch. Fan in the front row in the upper deck. Nicely done, sir.
He's been watching Jim Edmonds. He used both hands. Nice two-handed catch.
Another ball pulled foul. Shane makes it easy on the equipment guys with the Phillies. He just goes with the double flap helmet instead of one of each as a switch hitter. One helmet instead of two, and he strikes out.
Victorino was able to get a piece of about 3 different pitches in this same location. That time Rich Harden took a little bit more off of that changeup, got him out in front, and Victorino came up empty this time.
2 outs in the inning. It's Chase Utley. One ball, no strikes. Cubs have won 6 in a row. They've won their last 9 straight series. They'll need to win 3 of 4 to win this 4-game set. So that means 2 of the next 3 after taking the opener last night. 25 of their last 28 games will be against teams that are currently above 500. Another broken bat, and this one will result in a base hit.
Most of the time when you see a lot of broken bats in a game, it's because a pitcher has a good fastball or a good cut fastball with some latent movement. He's able to get in on the hands of those hitters. A lot of Rich Harden's broken bats come on changeups where the batter hits it off the very end of the bat.
Left-handed hitting Ryan Howard at the plate. There are rumors circulating that the Phillies are very close to acquiring Matt Stairs to help out on their bench from the left side. He was just designated for assignment by the Blue Jays. You might see a couple more deals here before the weekend is out, as teams need to get their new guys on the roster. That's a fair ball past Lee. Utley's coming toward third, and Steve Smith, the third base coach, is going to hold him. The throw actually hits Ryan Howard. Now Utley to the plate, and he's safe. He just got in as Lee threw to Blanco. Heads up base running by Chase Utley, and the Phillies get their second run. That's a single for Howard, an error on the throw by Kosuke. And Utley scores to make it 2-0.
It all starts with a hittable fastball down and in. That ball is scalded past Derek Lee. That's that passing shot we talk about. Derek was bouncing off the bag at first. Ball hit back to his left. You see Kosuke at the end of the play comes up firing back into the cutoff man. Derek Lee kind of got tangled up with Ryan Howard there. That's a tough error on Kosuke, but heads up base running by Chase Utley to realize the miscue and come on home to score.
So Lou is out, and he wants to talk with Chris Guccione, the first base umpire. They arguing that Ryan Howard intentionally got in the way of that throw?
Yeah, possibly that could be Lou's argument, although this is kind of a multiple choice argument. He stopped at home plate to talk to Henry Blanco first to see if he had the plate blocked off of Chase Utley. Didn't get the answer he wanted to hear there, so he just kept going down to first base. You'll see Ryan Howard as he's coming back into the bag. I don't think there was any intent there. He was just trying to get back to first base and got there at the same time as the ball and Derek Lee. Ryan Howard doesn't know if they're throwing behind him at first base or whether that throw is meant to go all the way to home plate.
Burrell lines out to Ramirez, and that will end the inning as Harden reaches the 100 pitch count on the day. They get an unearned run to make it 2-0.
Thanks, folks. I gotta get going. Cindy, keep my plane ready a little later. We're not finished yet. Cindy, I got stuck on a client call. Cindy, something else just came up. Oh, yeah. Hey, Cindy.
Your plane is ready.
Thanks, Cindy. You're the best.
With 14 daily one-stop or connecting flights, you'll feel like you have your own company plane. You can count on Southwest Airlines to get you there on time with friendly customer service.
You are now free to move about the country.
We've come to this bayou because we found something extraordinary. The internet. It seems it can't hide here either. Simply insert the AT&T Laptop Connect card and you're connected at up to 3G speeds. Download presentations. Even track your company's inventory all on the go. I'm Bill Curtis, and I just found the internet.
The internet can't hide anymore. Switch to the network with the best coverage and get the AT&T Laptop Connect card for free.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
for everyone.
Plus, get the best coverage in America on every GMC Acadia with better highway fuel efficiency than a Honda Pilot. And now get a 2008 GMC Acadia starting at $26,662. See your local Buick Pontiac GMC dealers.
Time now for a Buick Pontiac GMC Sports Update.
Mark Shanowski here. We got a big baseball doubleheader coming up today on Comcast Sportsnet. After the Cubs game, Dan Plesac joins me for Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. Then at 6, we head out to Boston as the White Sox visit the Red Sox. Chicago Tribune Live gets you set for that game at 5:30. Now we send it back out to the friendly confines and Len Bob.
Thanks, Mark. Mark DeRosa leading off for the Cubs. This game, the way it started, feels a little bit like last night. The Cubs starting pitcher maybe not quite as sharp as we're used to seeing, and the Phillies starter very sharp.
Yeah, Joe Blanton has been really good up to this point in the ball game. You know, for Cub fans who are used to seeing the offense come out and pummel the opposition, you know, occasionally you're going to run up against an opposing starting pitcher who's on top of his game, and it looks like Blanton has had good command today. He's used that fastball inside effectively to set up his off-speed pitches away, but working our way down here, second time through the order. We'll see what happens third time through.
DeRosa, after striking out, looking in the second inning, is 3 for 11 versus Blanton. 2 doubles, a walk, hit by a pitch, and has struck out twice. Make that now 2 walks in his career. As a tying run will come to the plate. Again, the run in the top of the inning for the Phillies was unearned because of the error by Kosuke, and here comes Fukudome for his second at bat.
Well, I like it when that inning starts with a base on ball. So many of the Cubs rallies this year have started not with a big base hit or a big home run, but with a base on balls.
Chad Godin, another teammate of Joe Blanton's in Oakland, up in the bullpen as Harden has reached 100 pitches through 5. Kosuke showing bunt, taking ball 1. Looking back at the collegiate numbers for Blanton at Kentucky, and he worked both as a starter and as a reliever, the earned run averages were not that good. In the mid-5s his first 2 years, in the mid-4s his final season. But he piled up a lot of strikeouts. Led the Southeastern Conference with 133 strikeouts in his final year of 2002 in just 100 innings. So that would lead you to believe that the scouts like the stuff to make him a first-round pick. 24th overall.
He was projectable. You see that big body out there on the mound. Velocity on his fastball, the movement on his breaking pitches. And you figure we can teach him everything else he needs to know.
Hit foul.
Also the ease of delivery. I mean, there's a lot of guys who rack big strikeout totals in college baseball or in high school baseball, but because of the violent delivery, the uncomfortable position that they put their throwing arm in, they're projected to have an injury at some point in the future. Those are the kind of guys that scare you a little bit, even though their numbers may be a lot better than somebody who has solid fundamental mechanics and maybe doesn't have the impressive strikeout numbers.
He has a sign from his catcher Ruiz. Now the pitch. Another one smacked foul the other way. Still 2-2. Hart and Spot due up fourth in the inning. And with DeRosa at first base, decent chance that Spot will come up. That's why Godin is up in the bullpen. And after 100 pitches, Rich might be done 3-2. If he is done, he will have kept the opponent to 1 or 0 earned runs in every start but one as a Cub. He's made 9 starts with the Cubs. DeRosa goes, and that is laced foul right down the left field line. I'll tell you, Chad Godin is a very focused individual. He was chatting with Lester Strode. He didn't move a muscle as that ball landed about 4 feet away from him. What were you saying, Lester? I think there's your difference. You talked earlier about everybody scattering in the bullpen. That's when they're seated. But when they're throwing, they're locked in. Throw to first, and DeRosa dives back. DeRosa runs again. Swing and a miss and a foul tip. Safe. He got in. Rollins couldn't apply the tag. So Kosuke strikes out on a foul tip. And DeRosa's now 6 out of 6 in the stolen base department.
Well, the foul tip at the plate may have been just enough to prevent Carlos Ruiz from getting a good grip on that baseball. It sailed on him a little bit. Rollins has to go up to take the throw, comes back down with the tag, and in the estimation of Tim Welke at second base, DeRosa had his hand on the bag before Rollins applied the tag.
Good slide. Now Henry Blanco today turned 37. So happy birthday to Henry. How about a game time 2-run homer? We're not asking for a whole lot.
Happy birthday to me.
Chopper off the plate. Henry's hustling barehanded by Dobbs. Save! Henry beat it out with his wheels. Happy birthday to me.
Well, it didn't appear much at the beginning, just a little chopper off the plate. Dobbs coming in. That ball had some side English, kind of kicked back. You could see he caught it at the very fingertips, had to take another step or two to re-grip that ball, and that's all the speedy Henry Blanco needed to leg out that infield single.
He smelled a base hit. Darrell Ward's going to bat for Hart. Rich Doobie, the pitching coach, will head out for a mound conference. While we have a chance, let's take a look at today's Coors Light freeze can as we look ahead to the Blackhawks season. Maybe Joe Blanton would like to be a goaltender in the offseason. Kick save to get his former teammate Rich Hart.
Probably a really good hacky sack player.
So for Hart in 5 innings, 3 hits. Now getting anxious here as this visit has lasted a little bit too long for their taste. 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned. He walked 4, struck out 5. We don't want to underestimate the fact that, like Ryan Dempster, Rich Harden was able to keep the ball in the ballpark. Now the wind is helping him today, but the Phillies lead the league in home runs. First and third, 1 out. Darrell Ward hits it hard but foul. Well, normally Lou would like to save Ward until the late innings, but this is one of the very rare chances the Cubs have had against Joe Blanton, so he figured I'll try to take advantage in this spot.
Yeah, you never know when your best shot is going to be during the course of a ball game. This is pretty early for Darrell Ward to make an appearance, but Lou maybe feels this is his best shot to break through against the Phillies right-hander.
He also has Mike Fontenot for later, along with Ronnie Cedeno, Reed Johnson, and Giovanni Soto from the right side. I'll tell you, Bob, it doesn't matter who starts. The Cubs have a strong bench every single day. And now Ward asks for time, and Bill Welke calls time before an 0-2 pitch. Here it is. It's a double play ball. The flip by Utley. Rollins with a bad throw. He had all the time in the world. The Cubs get a huge break. It's 2-1. That is a wow moment. That was as easy as it gets for the Phillies to turn 2 and get out of the inning.
Well, everything was there for him. Ball was hit extremely hard right to Chase Utley. He got the ball quickly to Jimmy Rollins, but Rollins tried to jump and throw simultaneously and airmailed it over everybody.
So Darrell Ward will pick up an RBI on the fielder's choice, and the Cubs are on the board 2-1.
Make it hurt.
The pitch popped up. Utley is calling for it, and he makes the catch. Not an error, but a defensive gap by the Phillies. That allows the Cubs to get their first run. It's 2-1.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
for everyone.
Take advantage of the discount and get the 2008 Chevy Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Tundra and F-150. That's right. Get this 2008 Silverado half-ton for around $20,500 after all offers.
I know this drill. I rack up a big charge on my credit card. I get a tote bag.
Well, actually, with our points program, you can get gift cards, flat screen TVs, even plane tickets.
How do you get enough points for that?
Oh, all kinds of ways. By using your debit card, your credit cards, checking account.
I don't believe you.
What?
You messing with me, right?
Oh, I'm not messing with you.
Can I still get the tote bag?
Absolutely.
It's not just banking. It's National City.
Never before has the gecko been captured on film talking about RV insurance.
So, you guys travel a lot. You should check out Geico and get a free rate quote on RV insurance.
This is truly history in the making.
You can also get a rate quote on motorcycle insurance, ATV insurance, personal watercraft insurance.
Sounds good.
Excuse me, I'm up here.
Geico, saving you money on insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
Wednesday, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs show Lance Berkman lightning isn't the only thing he should be afraid of as the Thru and Blue light up their bats at Wrigley, followed by Los Cubs postgame live. Cubs Astros in HD, Wednesday at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Tonight, catch the latest edition of Chicago Tribune Live on Comcast Sportsnet. Dave Kaplan, Tribune writer, sports stars, and celebrities discuss the day's hottest sports topics and get you set for the White Sox and Red Sox from Boston. Don't miss Chicago Tribune Live tonight at 5:30 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Now, Josh Beckett scratched from that start tonight with elbow problems as Chad Godin takes over here in the 6th inning, facing Worth, Dobbs, and Ruiz. If anybody gets on the pitcher's spot, and then Charlie Manuel will have to make a decision whether or not it's Blanton to bat or a pinch hitter, and that would force Manuel to go into his bullpen. And that could be a very difficult decision. I don't think he wants to take Blanton out. 5 innings, 1 run. But we'll see how the inning plays out. I suppose you're much more likely to leave a guy in, even in a big potential RBI spot, when you have the lead, as opposed to possibly being down. If the Phillies were trailing, it would be a more difficult decision.
No question about it. I mean, if you have, like we said last half inning for Lou Piniella, if you've got an opportunity to score some runs and you're trailing in a ball game, you're almost forced to pinch hit for that pitcher spot, regardless of how much gas you think he has left in the tank.
Hit foul. Sweeping breaking ball is outside, 3-2. Happy birthday wishes today. Anders Orr from Lake Forest, turning 8. Belated happy birthday wishes to Rick Doyle, whose daughter Kelly, a graphics operator. And that ball rolling in. It's foul. What happened there?
I think Aramis Ramirez thought that ball was fouled off of the foot of Jason Worth, so he didn't even bother to come in and pick that ball up. As it rolled down the third baseline, it came back into fair territory and then went foul once again.
Now Worth took off for first base.
It did look like it hit him on the foot, although Jason Worth didn't react whatsoever. Ball trickles down that third base side.
Well, the home plate umpire Bill Welke followed the ball. He didn't make any indication that it was foul off the foot.
And Godin clearly touched it in foul territory, so that's just a foul ball. It looked to me like it hit Worth in the foot. Yeah, possibly the way that left foot spins open, it hit where his foot was. And you would expect much more of a reaction than that if the ball did hit his foot. Yeah, Henry was right on top of it.
And the catcher is the guy you trust the most because he's standing about a foot away from the home plate umpire.
Very odd looking play right there. Henry sees that ball as fair. He'll pick it up. Worth probably heard Henry Blanco shouting and decides I better get going.
Called strike 3. That was a 9-pitch sequence.
Knee-high fastball, middle of the plate, caught Jason Worth looking for something else in that situation. Well, and Rich Harden has gotten a lot of the attention since the trade with the Oakland A's, and rightfully so. He's pitched extremely well, but Chad Gaudin kind of snuck in under the radar. That'll be a base hit back up the middle of the field for Greg Dobbs. Gaudin's got 4 victories since coming over to the Cubs in situations just like this, where he comes into a ball game with the Cubs trailing, holds the opposition in check until the offense has a chance to get it going.
Had a tough one against the Nationals in that blowout last weekend. Gave up 6 runs in 2 innings. And that'll definitely bloat your earned run average as a reliever. Ruiz batting, 1 on, 1 out. We're in the 6th. The Phillies lead 2-1. Good slider for a strike. Jeff Samardzija just grabbed the ball in the Cubs pen. Happy 50th wedding anniversary wishes go out to the Lintons, Myra and Leroy, celebrating their big anniversary today. We got an email from one of their sons, Mark. Says, my dad has to be the ultimate student of the philosophy of yes, dear, you're right, I'm sorry. They've made it to their golden anniversary. Congratulations. That's from Mark and Greg and the family.
Words to live by.
Sprayed foul. Got an email from Bradley Eilers. Wanted us to give a shout out to his grandparents celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. Howard and Dolores Casebolt from Gladbrook, Iowa. Congratulations. Was that a 4-seam fastball grip?
Yep.
Across the seams?
Cross-seam fastball grip behind the back of Chad Gaudin as he gets his signs from Henry Blanco. Any adjustments he needs to make, he makes once he comes up into the set position, puts the bare hand into the glove.
Terrio, DeRosa, Lee, they turn it. And that's it for the Phillies in the 6th. First double play turned by the Cubs on the afternoon. Well, they're still hanging around. They're only down a run as he'll bat against Joe Blanton in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be the top of the order.
Fuel efficiency, durability, safety. Of all the great things Nissan brings you, this is the most thrilling. The bottom line. Nissan's model year-end sales event. Get $1,500 cash back on the 33 MPG Sentra or $199 lease on the 32 MPG Altima. Event ends September 2nd. That's the bottom line. Nissan.
Tonight, Ken Griffey Jr. and the White Sox touch down in Beantown as they take on J.D. Thru and the Boston Red Sox, followed by U.S. Cellular White Sox Postgame Live. White Sox Red Sox in HD tonight at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
When you need your vehicle repaired, look no further than River City Pipe Benders. Why? Other than auto body, River City Pipe Benders can repair anything and everything, from oil changes to transmission and engine overhauls. River City Pipe Benders is one of the only places that repairs everything. The same technician will always repair your vehicle and will know your vehicle. No one is on commission. River City Pipe Benders tells it like it is. Trust Clinton's own full-service repair facility. Trust River City Pipe Benders.
Don't let pain or injuries keep you from the life you love. From high school athletes to weekend warriors, more Quad City athletes put their trust in Team ORA. Call on Dr. Charles Castle or any of the 10 sports medicine specialists among our 22 skilled and caring physicians. ORA, excellent care focused on you.
Every night on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Hey fans, Monday is Universal Orlando Day as the Cubs battle the Astros at 3:05. The first 5,000 children 13 and younger will receive a Woody Woodpecker plush toy, compliments of Pepsi.
2, 3, and 4 for the Cubs in the last of the 6th. A lot of sunshine today. Wind blowing in. Four hits for the Phillies. The Cubs have 2. Swung on and missed. 2 strikes. Going to grab a little beach time this weekend?
Thinking about it. I live very close to the North Avenue beach. I've spent very little time over there, but it sure looks like fun when I do go over. So I think we may make an appearance over there. Listen to Pat and Ron on the radio.
We want to warn all those Chicagoans are going to head down to the beach. Bob Brenly possibly with his shirt off.
Ugh.
Going to be running around tomorrow.
Well, that glow you see coming from the beach will be the sun reflecting off my white body.
Two-two pitch. Now it's full 3-2.
We're going to take advantage of these last few glorious days of summer. There you go.
Yeah.
Looks like he's been to the beach already, though.
A leadoff walk. Tying run is on base.
If it wasn't for that wind blowing in today, this is probably a 2-2 ball game because Derek Lee touched one back in that first inning that looked like it had a chance to get out of here just to the right of straightaway center, but got up into the wind and got knocked down.
Yeah, pitching matchups and a couple of those other games of note tonight. Dave Bush will pitch for Milwaukee against left-hander Tom Gorzolani of the Pirates. Kyle Loesch will look for his 14th win for the Cardinals as he opposes Randy Wolf in Houston. And the Phillies will be keeping a close watch on the Mets and the Marlins. Oliver Perez and Chris Volstad down in Miami. All those games later tonight. Inside. 2-0. Three and 0. Boy, Blanton doesn't want to walk the first 2 with Ramirez on deck. The guy who keeps coming up with all these huge hits. There's ball 4. Back-to-back bases on balls. Here's Ramirez. First, the infielders are headed up to the mound as former Cub Scott Air is going to quickly get ready. We know that he can get ready fast. Also, right-hander Clay Condrey has joined Scott up in the Phillies bullpen. Now, you wouldn't use Air against Ramirez. He's getting ready for Edmonds.
Edmonds and possibly Fukudome further down the road.
You have to put him in that MVP race. Comes into this at bat with 99 RBIs on the season.
More stalling efforts here as Rich Doobie makes his way out to the mound after the entire infield gathered out on the mound. Well, this is one of those situations, Len. You know, we watch a lot of baseball over the course of the summer, and you'll see a pitcher occasionally walk the first 2 hitters in an inning, and the third batter comes up to the plate and swings at the first pitch, and you hear the announcers and the fans booing and going crazy. How could you swing at that pitch? He just walked 2 guys in a row. Those rules do not apply to your run producers in the middle of the order. Aramis Ramirez has proven he's got a good eye at the plate. He's probably not going to chase a bad pitch. And when you do stuff like this late in the ball game, you earn the right to swing at that first pitch, even after a pitcher's walked 2 guys.
His 8th career grand slam. It ended up being a game winner. What's going to happen today? As we signed off last night, you had the 2 best words of the night. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You never know what you're going to see. Here we go. Strike 1.
Oh, it's another one of those low strikes. Man, Bill Welke rather has called about a dozen of those pitches down around the bottom of the kneecaps or even lower.
The 1-1 pitch moved his hands. It was inside. Now Blanton has reached 100 pitches. This spot due to lead off the 7th. No question this will be the final inning. Could be his final batter. 3-1. Fly ball to center, and coming in now Victorino. Well, the runners head back. It's a huge out for Blanton. Gets Ramirez on a 3-1.
We got a good pitch to hit just below the belt, inside part of the plate. Just got in on him a little bit. An easy fly ball into shallow center field. I think Charlie Manuel is going to let his right-hander face Jim Edmonds. Edmonds has had 2 at-bats in the ball game. Hasn't taken particularly good swings on Joe Blanton. And should he get Jim Edmonds, he's got a right-handed hitter in Mark DeRosa in the on-deck circle. You compound that with the fact that Jim Edmonds against Scott Air is 4 for 9 in his career.
Terrio at second, Lee at first, and that's crank foul. Edmonds laid some good lumber on that ball, but he was way out in front.
Well, they give Edmonds a lot of room in the gap in right center field. Shane Victorino shaded several steps over into the gap in left center.
Here comes a 1-1. This foul goes just into the upper deck behind third base. Cubs are potentially a single away from tying this one up. If they can come back, it would be their 20th win here in August. Most wins in any month. They already have 19, which is most of any month here in 2008. 17 and 10 in March and April combined. 18-11 in May, 15-12 in June, 15-11 in July, and 19-6. With 3 games left, including today here in August. Cue shot toward third. Play will be made at first as Dobbs gets the out there. 2 gone. Runners at second and third, and it brings up DeRosa.
Looked like he hit that ball off the very end of the bat. Out in front. Out of side English as that ball rolls down the third base side, but Dobbs able to come in and make a nice play cutting across the diamond to throw on to first.
A plethora of conferences involving pretty much the entire infield for the Phillies today.
They've had more meetings in this inning than the PTA. Every time a hitter comes to the plate, they gather the entire infield out there on the mound to talk about how they're going to go after him, how they want to defend the batter at the plate.
There's a pitch to DeRosa. Not the first time Blanton's gone up and in on Mark. He has struck out looking, walked, stolen a base, and scored the only run for the Cubs to this point. Outside corner, 1-1. Cubs are trying to capitalize on consecutive walks to start this inning. The fans really getting on the Phillies, and they might have set a record here in the last few innings for trips to the mound.
Well, we showed you earlier in the game Carlos Ruiz going through a series of signs even with nobody on base, and now with the runner at second, he's just running out there and telling Blanton what he wants to throw every pitch. He probably won't even give a sign now. He just went out and verbally told Blanton how he wanted to go after Mark DeRosa in this situation. And no sign given whatsoever.
Kicks away. Terrio hesitated, and then it was too late.
In Ryan Terrio's defense, the path of this ball as it got past Ruiz, it looked like the batter, the catcher, the umpire, everybody was right in line with where the ball rolled, and Ryan didn't initially see how far away it got from home plate. And if you're not sure, you can't afford to take a chance. It's easy to sit in the stands, and from our angle we could clearly see that ball was all the way back to the bricks, but Ryan Terrio didn't have the same view that we did.
Two and two on DeRosa. Here's a pitch. Just missed outside. 3-2. Kosuke is waiting in the on-deck circle. Fans are up again. Here's a payoff pitch. Ball 4. Third walk of the inning. Somebody's got to head back to the mound, right? With the bases loaded. There was Lou's reaction. Ontario did not try to score. Charlie Manuel's going to head right to the home plate umpire Bill Welke and make a double switch. It's like we're going to see Scott Air, the former Cub, pitch to Kosuke in a huge spot.
Just guessing, but I would assume the double switch will come at third base with Greg Dobbs. We'll probably see Phillies come into the ball game here along with Scott Air.
So tense moment. Bases loaded. Cubs trail by 1. The Heineken call to the pen has been made, and we'll be right back.
Get on the fast track to your dreams with AT&T Advanced TV, which offers a wide selection of programming and more HD channels than cable. AT&T U-verse TV lets you record up to 4 shows at once on one DVR, unlike cable, up to 120 hours of programming. You can even get up to $100 cash back on qualifying combined TV and internet plans, or double your cash back and get up to $200 when you order online.
Are you working on your research?
Of course. AT&T is a proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team.
We're not going anywhere until our demands are met!
What are we gonna do now?
Hello? Jimmy John's?
Who ordered Jimmy John's?
Jimmy John's, America's sandwich delivery experts.
Now more than ever, you want to get the most for your money. Look no further than the rugged V6 2008 Kia Sportage. Fuel efficient, 5-star safety rated, backed by an industry-leading warranty, and it's priced about $6,000 less than a Toyota RAV4 Limited. Or to put it another way, a whole year's worth of groceries less. The 2008 Kia Sportage. It's money well saved. Hurry in and get $3,000 cash back plus $500 competitive bonus on the 2008 Kia Sportage. Offer ends September 2nd.
Well, double switch. It'll be Chris Coast to catch, and he'll lead off the 7th. And former Cub Scott Air, who admitted in the Philly paper that he doesn't remember the signs the Cubs had when he was here. Also said he wasn't sure how the Cubs pitchers were going to attack the Phillies star hitters, and didn't have any insight on getting out the Cubs hitters. Don't know if he was being facetious or not, but he told the Philadelphia Inquirer all he did in the bullpen here was look in the stands. So we'll see what he has in mind here against Kosuke. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Cubs trail 2-1. Kick and the pitch by Air is a called strike. That's his slider.
Lupinella did have some options available off the bench. Reed Johnson would have been an easy switch for Kosuke Fukudome. You've got Giovanni Soto available to hit right-handed against the left-handed pitching Air, but Kosuke Fukudome hitting 10 points higher on the season against left-handed pitching and has had some of his best at-bats against left-handed pitching this year.
Low and outside. That was also a slider. 1-1.
And Lewis said repeatedly that he doesn't like to take Kosuke out because of his defense in right field late in the ball game. So he's going to take the at bat against the lefty Scott Air here.
Air was dealt from the Cubs to the Phillies for a minor league right-hander, Brian Schlitter, on August 7th. Missed again. 2-1. Nothing but sliders here early on. Scott got buried on the depth chart with the Cubs, but the general manager Jim Hendry said he would do his best to trade him to a contender. This is his 12th career appearance against the Cubs. 1 loss and a 4.72 ERA. 3-1. Blanco on deck. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. They've tied it up. Does Kosuke know they've tied it up? He hesitated. All the base runners stopped when Kosuke stopped, dead in his tracks. But that was ball 4, and it's now 2-2.
Well, we've seen pitches lower than this called strikes in the ball game. It's definitely over the plate. Kosuke wasn't real sure. He looked up and saw all his teammates standing there. Well, that's ball 4. Head on down.
Here's Henry Blanco on his 37th birthday. Strike 1. It's a 2-2 tie. 4 walks in the inning. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Let's go Dan on deck. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The Cubs have tied it. Called strike 3 on a fastball. That'll end the inning. But they tie it up. The bases loaded, 3 past to Kosuke. We're 2-2 to the 7th.
Stop in and see Menard's great selection of Westinghouse fans. The 30-inch Turbo Swirl is available in brushed nickel and iron finish, only $39. Or this 52-inch Spring Valley model with an ebony bronze finish and aged alabaster glass, only $99. Plus, check out our full selection of Serta mattresses. They're rated a Best Buy. Our Redwood Plush Queen mattress set is only $384. The Mahogany Eurotop Queen set is only $479.
Save big money at Menards.
I've read a lot of books, wrote a few songs, looked at my life, where it's going, where it's gone. I've seen the world through a bus windshield, but nothing compares to the way that I see it when I sit in that old blue chair.
The event is now on, but it won't last forever. The Lexus Summer Sales Event, where you'll find the best values of the year now through September 2nd. Lease the 2008 IS250 all-wheel drive for $389 a month for 24 months with $34.89 due at signing.
Wednesday, Alfonso Soriano and the Cubs show Lance Berkman lightning isn't the only thing he should be afraid of as the Thru and Blue light up their bats at Wrigley, followed by Lowe's Cubs postgame live. Cubs Astros in HD, Wednesday at 7 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Tonight's going to be a slugfest in Boston as Carlos Quentin and the White Sox battle David Ortiz and the Red Sox at Fenway. Don't miss the White Sox and Red Sox tonight at 6 right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Jeff Samardzija is in the ball game. He tried to come in earlier, then ended up going back as Lou told him to wait. And the Cubs ended up making a double switch.
As part of that double switch, Reed Johnson comes on to play right field for Kosuke Fukudome. He'll hit in the 9 spot. The new pitcher Jeff Samardzija will hit in Fukudome's spot, the 7 hole.
A 2-2 tie. Chris Coast has double switched in. And he'll lead off for the Phillies. Our good friend, the Sarge, Gary Matthews, former Cubs All-Star outfielder and coach, current broadcaster with the Phillies, will conduct the stretch. Chris Coast lines into center for a base hit. Lou Pinella's favorite spot to hang after the game is Harry Carey's Tavern at the corner of Sheffield and Addison. Go where Lou goes for Wrigleyville's best salads, pizzas, and burgers. Call 773-HOLY-COW or visit harrycareys.com. Cubs have kept Jimmy Rollins fairly quiet to start this series. And he's always dangerous. Came into today's game 10 for his last 16. 0 for 2 on the afternoon with a walk. Coast has about the shortest lead you can have as Rollins hits that one foul by a couple of feet. He didn't even run. Cubs have tied it with a run in the 5th and another in the 6th. Bounce to Lee. They get one. They won't get the other. It popped out of the glove of Samardzija, but Rollins was going to beat it out anyway.
I agree with you, Len. I don't think they were going to get Jimmy Rollins at first base, but hopefully a lesson learned by Jeff Samardzija. Took his eye off that ball. Fortunately, it hit him in the glove and not in the forehead. Got to track that ball all the way into the glove as you get over there to cover that bag.
Rollins with a much bigger lead than Coast had.
Got him leaning just a little bit over there, able to get back in on his belly underneath the tag, but had his body moving towards second base as Samardzija snapped that throw to first.
Rollins is 4th in the National League with 36 stolen bases, 2nd in stolen base percentage at basically 95%. He's 36 out of 38. That's wide, ball 1.
Here you see the foot race between Jeff Samardzija and Jimmy Rollins, both watching the play at second base. And right there, Samardzija took his eye off the ball. As I said, fortunately, it hit him in the glove.
Rollins looks like he wants to go, and Samardzija will throw over.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Len. You know, we talk about swing pitches in and at bat, and for my money, with Jimmy Rollins on at first base, ball 1 was a huge swing pitch, because if you go strike 1 on Shane Victorino, it gives you the option of pitching out.
They pitch out. Rollins was not running.
Yeah, but the difference between a 2-0 count, a good hitter's count now for Shane Victorino, and a 1-1 count is considerable in this situation. Now Jeff Samardzija needs to throw a strike right here.
Missed again, 3-0. Ball 4, 2 on with 1 out. So Larry coming out. Cubs trying to keep alive their Comcast Sportsnet winning streak. They've won 11 straight here on Comcast Sportsnet. Since July 23rd, they're 16-1. Overall, the Cubs have won 6 in a row. And at a season best 34 games over 500. Two on for Chase Utley.
Oh, man. I tell you, he's been consistent all day long. Bill Welke refuses to call an inside corner strike and loves to call the pitch down below the kneecaps. That's a good pitch right there.
Ground ball. It'll be DeRosa to Terrio. Safe at first. Excellent pick by D. Lee on the low throw.
DeRosa with the shovel toss on to Ryan Terrio. His relay throw was in the dirt. As usual, Derek Lee picked it clean. He thought he had Utley at first base. Like Chase just got his foot down on the bag as that ball was just starting to enter Derek Lee's glove. Very close.
Look from our high-speed shutter cam. And Utley may have just gotten in a hair before the ball landed in the glove of Lee. They shift against Howard, and he pulls it foul past Davey Lopes. Four runs on just 7 hits combined. The Cubs have but 2 of the base hits. Outside. It's the definition of a bang bang play right there. Samardzija coming on a 1-1. Fastball at 98, but it wasn't a strike. 2-1. Ryan Howard leading the league in home runs, but leading the world in strikeouts. That one handcuffed Derek, and the throw is in time to get Ryan Howard, who's absolutely livid. I hope Derek's all right. Remember, Derek had the back issue, and he's now up on his feet as Charlie Manuel's going to go out and argue it. Controversial ending to the top of the 7th. Time to sing the stretch with a Sarge.
A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back. Well, it's rude for the. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's and the old ball game. Hey, love you, Cub fans.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
we're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
For everyone.
Plus, get the best coverage in America on Pontiac G6 with better combined fuel efficiency than Honda Accord. And now get a 2008 G6 sedan starting at $16,720. See your local Buick Pontiac GMC dealers.
This quote of the week is brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. For an insurance quote for auto, home, life, or business, please call Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich at 847-825-4783.
Seriously, mornings just go better when you grab some breakfast.
Whatever.
Ow.
Start your day off right with any 2 McMuffin sandwiches for just $3. Now at McDonald's.
Chicago Tribune Live, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Well, while the Sarge and his grandson Denver, who turns 3 in October, did a great rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, all heck broke loose on the field between innings. As very close play at first base went the Cubs' way as Derek got the ball to Samardzija. Looked like Ryan Howard may have beaten it out. The third base coach, Steve Smith, got into a long argument with one of the umpires and got ejected. Jimmy Williams, a bench coach, came out to kind of help him out. Charlie Manuel was on the field the entire time, and he was not enjoying the 7th inning stretch. Nice job, Sarge.
Well, that took a little bit of attention off of it, which is good. Good thing.
Sarge now in the Phillies broadcast booth, former Cubs star player and coach, as well as right-hander Clay Condrey takes over here in the bottom of the 7th. Reed Johnson batting for the first time. He entered as part of a double switch to play right. Interesting ball game today.
Boy, just a great ball game and a great day. Every time you have the fields or your home park that are just jammed to capacity, and let's face it, you know how the Cub fans are, and they're hoping that finally this is going to be the year without trying to jinx them at all.
Well, it's been a fantastic season. Cubs have the best record in baseball. They've been a very balanced team with the offense, the pitching, and the defense. That's hit well to right, and Jason Worth will make the catch. We were talking before the ball game last night. You never know, this could see this rematch at some point in October.
Yeah, it would be really nice. I think that our pitching isn't as good as yours. Bullpen's been pretty good. Offense has been kind of up and down. We have some great players, however. Jimmy Rollins, a shortstop, can take a game over, but you know, when you're not scoring runs, and you know, Bob, you can contest to this, that players start to get a little bit more nervous, and it just goes with the territory. A lot of pressure when you're not driving that runner from third base.
You never had a problem doing that.
I had my share of them. I wasn't a 300 hitter, but I tried to make sure that they knew that you were in a dogfight when you're up at the plate and not give at-bats away. And I think that if most of the guys would do that, it might be easier. They might hit for a high average.
We're talking about a dogfight. The Phillies and the Mets back and forth, back and forth.
This has been going on for the last couple of years, and I'm telling you, heated up.
Soriano skies this one deep, and it's gonna go! 3-2. His 23rd home run. Well, as you said, Sarge, the Phillies bullpen had been a strength, but it's been a struggle the last 3 days.
Well, last 3 days, and uncharacteristic of the ball club, losing in the late innings.
Mark Belvedere going downtown. Home run replay. Looked like a slider that didn't slide. Stayed right in the middle of the plate. And wind or no wind, Fonzie drove that one way out of here.
Terrio with the inside-out swing. Ryan Howard will take it unassisted. A huge home run. They give the Cubs the lead for the first time.
Well, that ball was just juiced, and I'm telling you, you got a fastball. You can't get in there on his hands. You don't have any business messing around out over the plate, and if you do, you're going to be asking for trouble, and probably as well another ball.
You can say that probably about every power hitter on these two teams. If you leave it out over the plate, they'll make you pay.
The thing for me about Soriano, he can just look so bad, and then bam! Well, he knows that it's gone because he can tell by the sound. He's heard it before. And they don't want to see how far the ball is going, most of the pitchers.
Derek Lee bounces to third base. Good to see Derek remain in the game. He might have tweaked the back possibly on that play to get out of the top of the 7th. Sarge, always a pleasure. We know you have to get back to work, but great to see you back here at Wrigley Field.
Thanks a lot, you and Bob, as usual. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thanks.
We've come to this island, and you'll never believe what we found. The internet. Seems it can't hide here either. Simply insert the AT&T Laptop Connect card. You're connected at up to 3G speeds. Email business proposals, access your customer database, all on the go. I'm Bill Curtis, and I've just found the internet.
The internet can't hide anymore. Switch to the network with the best coverage and get the AT&T Laptop Connect card for free.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Edison Station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Edison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
He's back, and he's knocking. And Schaumburg Honda Automobiles is ready. The 2008 Honda model year-end clearance.
More than 2,000 Hondas available, including more than 332 MPG Accords with 1.98 PR.
Bob Rohrman. It's clearance time, and you owe it to yourself. Illinois' #1 volume Honda dealer is Bob Rohrman, Schaumburg Honda Automobiles. Just 8 blocks west of Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road.
Another wild day here at Wrigley Field. Alfonso Soriano given a standing ovation as he went out to left from the bleacher fans. A go-ahead home run. The bench coach Jimmy Williams now has to coach third after Steve Smith got ejected, so Jimmy trying to stretch it out down there. And Jeff Samardzija stays in. Pat Burrell. It's a high fly ball down the left field line, and no play for Soriano. Well, the reason Samardzija has to work more than an inning is Kerry Wood is not available today after working in 4 consecutive games over 4 days. So Samardzija is setting up for Carlos Marmol. The 0-1 pitch hit hard and past Aramis. That's a base hit for Burrell. This game far from over. 1-run game in the 8th.
Inner third of the plate, down around the knees, just a rocket hit past Aramis Ramirez at third base. Burrell looking back toward that first base dugout as if he's anticipating a pinch runner, and indeed we're going to see So Taguchi come on to run for Pat Burrell.
So it's Taguchi to run for Burrell. I got to tell you, that was the strangest 7th inning stretch I think we've witnessed. It had nothing to do with Sarge and his grandson singing. They did a wonderful job. But I have to admit, my attention was split. I was trying to figure out how many Phillies coaches were going to get ejected.
I think the fans were caught in the same conundrum. A lot of people looking up towards the booth, a lot of people looking down towards first base where the argument was taking place.
Check swing. Worth not happy that he got his bat out there because he got a piece of the ball, and it's now 0-2. A pitch that was off the plate. Right-hander Rudy Sinez up for the Phillies. Inside on a front door slider. 1-2. 40,844 the paid crowd today. They've gotten their money's worth once again. Good play by Henry. Cubs offense has done most of its damage in this series against the Phillies bullpen. Got the lead again today against the relief corps. A big home run by Soriano. 3-2 on Worth. That's Greg Dobbs on deck. Taguchi faked towards second, and the pitch missed, ball 4. Time now for the Sharp Aquas game-changing play. That crazy one, Derek Lee had to get away from him, but they got the out at first base. Kept the Phillies off the board in the 7th. Kept the game tied and allowed Soriano to give the Cubs their first lead with a home run in the bottom of the inning.
Well, you mentioned earlier that Kerry Wood, for all intent and purposes, is unavailable today. Carlos Marmol would close if the Cubs have a lead, and Samar just struggles here in the top half of the 8th inning. We see Carlos Marmol beginning to throw now, perhaps an opportunity to get more than 3 outs and record a save in this ball game today. Greg Dobbs at the plate. We mentioned pinch hitter supreme, but we haven't seen him put down a sac bunt yet this year. Phillies are not a team that relies on the sacrifice very often because of the power that they have in their lineup, but this certainly would appear to be a sacrifice situation.
Well, that would make sense. A pinch hitter usually isn't asked to come on and lay down a bunt. 0-1. Feliz on deck in Condry's spot. 0-2. A couple of Cubs superstars have really stepped it up to begin this homestand. Ramirez with a game-winning grand slam last night. Soriano the go-ahead homer today. Speaking of Alfonso, he's hustling over and he won't get to it. Foul ground.
That wind came into play once again right there. Just kept pushing that ball further and further away from Alfonso into foul territory. Really steady wind all day blowing in from right field. I'll tell you, Len, watching So Taguchi take his lead off second base, I don't know that he'll be able to score on a base hit to the outfield. He's getting a very short lead and a very short secondary lead. Even though he's got good speed, it's going to be tough for him to score on a hit to the outfield.
Samardzija has the sign. The kick and the 0-2 pitch. A fly to left. Taguchi's going to go back and tag. And he'll stop and head back to second. Good job by Soriano to get it back in quickly. Now Pedro Feliz, and Lou Piniella is going to make a double switch. He's going to bring in Carlos Marmol, and our guess here is that he's going to be asked to get the final 5 outs. So the Heineken call to the pen. Ronnie Cedeno will head in, and Ryan Theriot has been taken out. Marmol running in. It's 3-2 Cubs.
Hi, can I have an MGD 64, please?
A margarita 64?
Okay. 12 ounces, 64 calories. Enjoy. MGD 64. As light as it gets.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
we're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
For everyone.
Take advantage of the discount and get the 2008 Chevy Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Tundra and F-150. That's right. Get this 2008 Silverado half-ton for around $20,500 after all offers.
We've come to this island, and you'll never believe what we found. The internet. Seems it can't hide here either. Simply insert the AT&T Laptop Connect card. You're connected at up to 3G speeds. Email business proposals. Access your customer database. All on the go. I'm Bill Curtis, and I've just found the internet.
The internet can't hide anymore. Switch to the network with the best coverage and get the AT&T Laptop Connect card for free.
MGD 64.
I'll have 64 calories of Bud Light.
$12 ounces, 64 calories. MGD 64. As light as it gets.
Watch the Cubs take on the Astros next Wednesday at 7:05. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Kosuke Fukudome #1 Cubs cap, compliments of Bank of America.
Cedeno comes in to play short and will hit 7th in the lineup. And Carlos Marmol try to get the final 5 outs. First and second, 1 out here in the 8th. As the Cubs lead 3-2. Pedro Feliz batting for Clay Condrey. This would go down as a tough save chance.
I believe so. Pedro Feliz, a batter that doesn't walk very often. He doesn't strike out very often. He's grounded into 12 double plays on the season, leading the Phillies.
Swing and the miss at a fastball. In the first half, Carlos went more than an inning several times. But in giving him more rest here in the second half, he hasn't done that very often. He went an inning and a third at Atlanta on August 14th. Went over an inning in a couple of games against Florida in late July, but that's really been it in the second half. Sliders off the plate, didn't miss by much. 1-2.
Yeah, maybe high is across the front of the plate.
Feliz waved at it. That's a strikeout, 2 down.
Another slider, this one in the dirt, started on the outer third of the plate, down around the knees, ends up over in that left-handed batter's box. Gets the check swing, strike 3. Nice block by Henry Blanco.
That's Marmol's major league leading 98 strikeout as a reliever. It's really not even close. Joel Hanrahan has 81, the second most. Strike 1 on Chris Coast. .98 strikeouts in just over 73 innings. 0-2. First 2 got on. Marmol trying to get out of it. Coast throws the bat as he swings and misses. Marmol escapes. He strikes out 2 to help out Samardzija. A rare smile from the pitching coach. It's 3-2.
For 100 years, we've been moving America.
Standing behind our quality.
With the GM 100,000-mile powertrain warranty.
Plus roadside assistance and courtesy transportation.
The best coverage you can find.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount.
You pay what we pay.
The GM employee discount.
For everyone.
Now through September 2nd, get employee pricing on all 2008 Cadillac models. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
Palmer Hills Golf Course in Bettendorf is a public 18-hole course and driving range. It's home to 100-year-old oak trees and features rolling hills with creeks and a pond coming into play on 11 holes. A wide variety of tee options make Palmer Hills playable for golfers of any skill level. We also offer professional golf instruction in both group and private settings. Our new clubhouse features a fully stocked pro shop. And for food and drinks, visit our new Palmer Grill. If you enjoy playing golf, Palmer Hills is for you. Beautiful, scenic, enjoyable. Play Palmer Hills Golf.
Monday, the worst of all 7 days, and the first of 5. But with Monday comes Monday Night Football on ESPN, which tastes delicious. Even with all the things to hate about Mondays, there sure is one glorious thing to love.
ESPN, serving sports fans around the world.
ESPN Football is brought to you locally by Highland Toyota.
Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet. From the Comcast Sportsnet studios, it's a Cadillac Sports Update.
Mark Shanowski with you. It's a big day of baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. After the final out at Wrigley Field, Dan Plesac will join me for Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. Then at 6 o'clock, we head out to Fenway Park in Boston as the White Sox take on the Red Sox. Chicago Tribune Live sets the table at 5:30. Now we go back to Wrigley Field, rejoin Len and Bob.
Thanks, Mark. Some changes for the Phillies. So Taguchi, after pinch running for Pat Burrell, will remain in and play left. Veteran right-hander Rudy Sinez will pitch. And he'll face Ramirez, Edmonds, and DeRosa for the Cubs, who will try to tack on here in the 8th, leading by a run. George Will, huge Cubs fan with the Cubs phone, columnist and author. He wouldn't be any place else but here.
A great weekend for it. Absolutely beautiful weather here at Wrigley Field. Bright sunshine above. Big crowd as usual. And a compelling ball game here this afternoon.
Don't want to talk politics. It's a sports broadcast, but George did say he would be at the Republican convention coming up, in case you're wondering. 2-1 on Oramas. Soriano's home run in the 7th. The difference to this point was off Clay Condrey. Ball 4, just on a fastball. It's a leadoff walk.
A devastating slider by Carlos Marmol that fooled Chris Coe so bad he lost a handle on his bat. It hit right on the top rail of the Cubs dugout.
Now we have fun with Larry. He likes to smile and laugh, but not during the ball game. He is intensely focused on the task at hand. Got a rare smirk after that bat almost hit him. Pitch almost got Edmonds. 1-0. Rudy Sinez will turn 40 on October 20th. He began his major league career in 1989 with the Cleveland Indians. It would take us about an hour to give you every pro team that he's represented, minors and the majors. It's Fabio Castro up for the Phillies. A 1-1 pitch off the plate inside. Base hit past the diving Utley. 2 on, no outs.
Fastball out over the plate. Edmonds actually hit it off the end of the bat a little bit, but a lot of top spin gets it past a diving Chase Utley. Cubs have it cooking. First 2 guys on base.
So DeRosa with a chance now to extend his hit streak to 11. You look at the rankings in the National League, and the Phillies bullpen with the best earned run average, 3.24. That has been a problem area, not only in the first 2 games of this series, but the final game of that 2-game series against the Mets. There's the bunt by DeRosa. Sinez will toss to Utley covering first base. So DeRosa giving himself up. His second sacrifice hit.
Talk about it all the time, the versatility of this Cubs offense. I mean, how many other teams would have a guy that's hitting well over 290 with 18 homers and near 80 RBIs put down a sacrifice bunt late in the ball game? But DeRosa executes perfectly, advances a couple of teammates into scoring position for Ronnie Cedeno.
All right, well, Rich Doobie's out there. We'll give this a shot. You ready? Starting in 1986, Rudy Sinez.
Okay.
Burlington, Waterloo, Kinston, Colorado Springs, Cleveland, Canton, Akron, Colorado Springs, Cleveland, Central Valley, Las Vegas, San Diego, Albuquerque, the Dodgers, San Bernardino, Omaha, Norfolk, Richmond, Atlanta, Greenville, Lake Elsinore, San Diego again, Atlanta, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa. Yeah, he was in the Cubs chain briefly in 03. Pawtucket, Boston, Omaha, Kansas City, Florida, San Diego, Boston, the Dodgers, the Phillies. That's it. I think he's covered it all. Infield in against Ronnie Cedeno. Called strike.
Then in his second professional season,
he has been pitching in the pros since 1986. Swing and a miss. First at bat for Ronnie, who's now playing short. Ramirez at third, Edmonds at second. Cubs would love to add some insurance. Won't be easy in the top of the ninth for Carlos Marmol. He'll face the top of the Phillies order. It's very formidable. Yeah, about 4 fans had a shot at that foul ball in the front row in the upper deck. They're all pointing at that guy. The problem is they all had to make a one-handed grab. They had a beverage in the other hand.
Priorities.
Sinez wants another ball. before the next 2-strike pitch.
And you mentioned the Phillies will have the top of the order up in the top half of the 9th inning. And until you get to the 5-hitter, who is now So Taguchi, who took over for Pat Burrell, none of the first 4 hitters for the Phillies have ever seen Carlos Marmol before.
And he's not a comfortable at bat when you've faced him 20 times. Couldn't get him to bite on a slider. 2-2. Sinez has a very good changeup. He'll use it against righties. Another slider, 3-2.
Well, the way Sinez has gone after Ronnie Cedeno after jumping ahead in the count tells me he's not really too concerned if he loses him in this at bat. It would load the bases, set up a potential double play with Henry Blanco at the plate. It's a steady diet of breaking pitches off the outside corner.
The 3-2 pitch, and he got a piece of it.
Another breaking ball down low and away. That's that dot slider. Ronnie just does get a piece of it to stay alive.
Here comes the next pitch. That time he got him. The 2 Cubs have been retired in the inning. It's Henry Blanco. Let's go back to the Nissan drive of the game. Alfonso Soriano with 1 out in the 7th. A towering, majestic blast into the bleachers in left center off Clay Condrey, making it 3-2 Cubs.
23rd homer of the season for Fonzie, putting him 1 behind Aramis Ramirez for the team lead.
Ground ball to third, gobbled up by Dobbs, and Howard had to come off the bag and apply the tag to get the out. Well, no margin for error for Marmol in the 9th. Rollins, Victorino, and Utley. If anybody gets on, it'll be Ryan Howard. 3-2 Cubs.
Southwest Airlines presents A Lesson on Low Fares.
Alrighty, let's see. Well, no big difference there. Guess it doesn't matter who I choose. Whoa, $25 second check bag fee. Well, that's kind of par for the $15 first check bag fee. What? Whoa. Well, $20 aisle seat fee. Oh, no. I'm not paying that.
At Southwest Airlines, what you see is what you pay. Book your next flight on southwest.com.
You are now free to move about the country. When this shoe store added Aflac to its employee benefits package at no direct cost to the company, it was a perfect fit. Find out more at forbusiness.com.
Are you a killer, Mr. Thru?
Yes.
No.
Vin Diesel, Babylon AD, rated PG-13.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
For everyone.
Take advantage of the discount and get the 2008 Chevy Malibu with better city fuel economy than Accord and Camry. That's right. Get this 2008 Chevy Malibu LS for around $19,000.
Get ready for an exciting Cubs finish. Brought to you by New Finish Car Polish and the #1 rated scratch remover, Scratch Doctor.
Well, if Marmol can get out of the 9th without allowing a run and notch the save, he would save it for Jeff Samardzija. That would be Samardzija's first major league win. He went an inning and a third, gave up 2 hits, no runs. Got some help from Marmol, who struck out the final 2 of the 8th. Cubs are closing in on their 7th consecutive win. They could be 7 games up on Milwaukee before the Brewers even play tonight. Ball 1, fastball outside to Jimmy Rollins. I don't want to forget to wish Daytona and Boise the best of luck. Daytona in the Florida State League, they need 2 wins in a 4-game series in Jupiter this weekend to clinch a playoff spot down in the Florida State League. 1 and 2 on Rollins. Taller task for the Boise Hawks of the Northwest League. They play their final 6 games against the team in first, Spokane. They need to win all 6 to get in. Bounced right back to Marmol. He'll flip to Derek Lee, 1 out. The Iowa Cubs are already in the Pacific Coast League. Michael Hoffpower with a grand slam yesterday. 25 homers, 99 RBIs in 69 AAA games. We'll probably see Micah on Monday.
They're just crazy numbers for Hoffpower at the AAA level this season.
Rosters will expand on September 1st. Fastball strike to Victorino. Cornermen respecting his speed and his bunting ability. They'll probably both move back now with 2 strikes. And Michael Brenly with 3 more hits for the Boise Hawks.
Yeah, the Hawks have had a nice season, 12 games over 500 going into play tonight.
Derek Lee and Mark DeRosa going after it. Derek catches it right in the middle of the Phillies bullpen. 2 outs. Nicely done.
Oh, Derek made that play look a lot easier than it really was. Yeah, Wynn playing tricks with it. He caught it right off the heel of his glove. Good lesson for the youngsters. He's got the bare hand right there to trap that ball in the glove and keep it from rolling out.
Marmol now going after Chase Utley with 2 outs, and I think he hit him. Did he hit him or not? I guess he didn't.
I think Utley could have sold that one if he wanted to take first base right there. That slider down and in near his feet. It missed him, but it certainly wouldn't have been hard to sell that one to the home plate umpire.
Way outside. 2-0 the count. Howard on deck, 3-0. The pitch. Strike 1, 3-1.
3-0 slider from Carlos Marmol. Pretty good indication he feels that's his go-to pitch, the one he can throw for strikes when he wants to. Certainly plants a seed of doubt in Chase Utley's mind. 3-0 slider. He doesn't know what to look for on the 3-1 pitch.
Another one. By the way, I asked him again, no matter what the speed, the breaking ball is always a slider, according to Carlos. Sometimes he throws it a little bit harder. The last two have found the strike zone. It's 3-2 at 2 outs. Here's the pitch, pulled foul. Swing and a miss. Cubs win. The bullpen gets it done again. Rich Harden scuffled a bit today, but gave up just 1 earned run in his 5 innings. Soriano with a game-winning home run. And that big blue train Dan Plesac talks about all the time cannot be stopped. They're 85-50. Time to sing. Carlos Marmol is with us down on the field. Carlos, Len and Bob here. An inning and 2/3 to get the save today. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Well, how'd you feel today? Looked pretty good from up here.
I feel good. When, you know, tough situation, you got to throw a strike. Come on when you bet.
And we saw every time you needed to throw a strike today, Carlos, you went to your slider. That's the pitch apparently you feel you can command the best.
And Carlos having a little trouble here, and Bob. Carlos, Bob was asking about your slider. That seems to be the pitch that you feel you can get over in any count.
I mean, I was more very good my slider. That's all, you know, that's all I, you know, guys, that's all I use when tough situation. I mean, they're very good today.
How about Jeff Samardzija? You know, he got his first major league win today.
That's good. Congratulations, Haynes. He's been doing a good job today. So you don't get out the 8 innings, but I mean, he's been doing good.
Well, congratulations, Carlos. Great job today, and enjoy this one, okay?
Thank you.
That's Carlos Marmol. 3-2, the Cubs get the win. And he is our Chevy player of the game. This was not an easy save today.
Oh, he really had to earn this one. An inning and 2/3, came in to strike out both batters he faced in the 8th inning to get out of a jam. And 1, 2, 3 through the top of the Phillies order here in the 9th inning. Just an outstanding job today by Carlos Marmol, filling in for Kerry Wood. Boy, it's great to have depth, not only in your offense, but in your pitching staff, to be able to go to your backup closer and have him dominate the way Marmol did today.
Jeff Samardzija with an inning and a third, 2 hits, no runs. And he gets his first major league win. Wow, it just keeps getting better and better.
Well, I think a lot of people were pointing toward this series, Len. You know, the Cubs have played some inferior teams recently, but the Phillies came in here locked in a race of their own back in that National League Eastern Division, a very powerful offensive ball club. And so far in the first 2 games, the Cubs have faced every challenge and come away victorious.
So that'll do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned for post-game live. The final score, once again, the Cubs 3 and the Phillies 2. Our next Cubs telecast will be next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Right here from Wrigley Field as the Astros will visit the ballpark. That'll be the final game. Actually, it's a 7 o'clock start. That's a night game next Wednesday here in the friendly confines. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob, for Dave Kaplan, Bob Albrecht, Dave Turner, Tamara Anderson, Jim Corno Jr., our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. This is Len Casper saying goodbye from the ballpark. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend, and let's now send it over to Mark and Dan in the studio.
All right, Len Casper, thanks a lot. Mark Shanowski back in our Comcast Sportsnet studio. We're standing by for Lowe's Cubs postgame live. Dan Plesac will join me to break down all the key plays, and I'm sure he's going to reach into his bag of props for something special, the conductor hat and the whole bit. You know the routine by now. We'll also have Lou Pinella's post-game news conference and a whole lot more. Stay tuned. Cubs win. We're coming right back after a short timeout. Mr. Conductor ready to go.
Hey Cubs fans, are you looking to get tickets to the hottest Cubs games this year? Visit Cubs.com and click on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of Cubs.com. Don't miss all the fun and excitement at the friendly confines with StubHub. There's always a ticket available to a Cubs game.
In celebration of our 100th anniversary,
We're sharing our GM employee discount with everyone.
You pay what we pay.
Not a cent more.
The GM employee discount.
For everyone.
Take advantage of the discount and get the 2008 Chevy Silverado with better available V8 fuel economy than Tundra and F-150. That's right. Get this 2008 Silverado half-ton for around $20,500 after all offers.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. Which is why we developed full synthetic Pennzoil Platinum with active cleansing agents to clean out up to 46% of sludge in the first oil change. That's 3 times better than the leading conventional oil. Pennzoil Platinum Motor Oil. Our ultimate clean for your ultimate feeling. Not just oil, Pennzoil.
Bank of America offers the opportunity to see Wrigley Field like you never have before. Take a 90-minute guided tour and check out the press box, locker room, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates and can be purchased by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or by visiting Cubs.com.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit Southwest.com today. Menards. And Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. And by your local Chicagoland Buick Pontiac GMC dealers.
Bullpen gets it done again.
Not a whole lot of offense on a pitcher's day at Wrigley Field, but the Cubs keep finding ways to win. The streak is now 7 after a 3-2 victory over the Phillies. Hello again, everyone. Welcome into Lowe's Cubs postgame live. There you see it, the big blue train.
That's all that needs to be said right there. Woo, woo.
Mr. Conductor, Dan Plesac, I'm Mark Shanowski. Obviously, the Cubs keep finding ways to win. They didn't get a lot of offense against Joe Blanton, but all it took was a well-placed home run by Alfonso Soriano and a little bit of small ball.
Well, you were a little bit concerned.
Yeah,
with the first sip of that blue Kool-Aid,
Right.
you were thinking, you know, did we put the thing on him? No, but anyway, the blue Kool-Aid's not going to stop the blue train. But this is just another example of how many ways that this Cub team can beat you. They caught a couple of breaks on a couple of calls, but Alfonso Soriano comes up big.
We're going to have to wait for your expertise. Lou Piniella very quickly to the interview room. Let's go out to Wrigley Field right now.
Defense and just enough hit. Soriano with the big fly there in the what was it, the 7th, was a deciding factor. Good ball game.
So you took some walks in that one inning.
Yeah, we took a few walks and it resulted in a run that inning.
Imagine anyone being better than Marmol in his role.
He's throwing the ball. He really is. You know, we weren't going to use Woody today. This would have been his 5th game in a row. We won't do that, especially with a month to go in the season or as many games as we have. But Marmol was fresh, and he came in and gave us an inning and 2/3 save. Pitched out of a tough situation there in the 8th inning, and then gave us a 1-2-3 9th. He's really throwing the ball well.
Did Harden have a little trouble with his command as you saw it there?
Early in the game he did. I thought he got better as the game progressed. But you know, we got him out of there after 5 innings and low 90s pitch count, so I mean, he'll go on his 5th day against Houston. I don't know, when is it? Tuesday, I guess. No, or Wednesday, I'm sorry. And then he'll get an extra day. So, but it's hard-fought victory today.
Lou, you glad there was no replay of the base pass? Looks like you got a break just looking at the replay in that 7th.
I couldn't tell. I mean, they argued, but I couldn't tell from where I'm at. Plays at first base they're hard to decipher. I know one thing. It was a good play by our pitcher getting over there, and Derek to stay with the ball.
So Soto available today?
Yes. Yes, we just rested him today. He'll be in there tomorrow.
Lou, 85 and 50, I know you take it one at a time, but if you remove yourself, can you say that you're impressed with how your team has handled everything to this point?
Well, we played good baseball. I've said that for a while. But again, we still got 27 games to play, and we got to continue to play them a series at a time. That's all you can do in this business. You can't get too far ahead.
Are you feeling, there's a month away or so, but the postseason, but are you feeling playoff atmosphere here just with the way people are reacting?
Well, the Phillies are a good baseball team, and you know, they're battling the Mets for first place in the division, and we're ahead in the Central. So, yeah, it's good baseball here at the end of August in Chicago.
Lou, are you impressed by Samardzij's composure? You know, even Samardzij's composure.
He was fine.
Great stuff.
He was fine. No, I thought he threw the ball okay. I really did. He was fine. I mean, he's a young man pitching in a pennant race against some pretty good hitters. I mean, this is a learning curve for him, learning experience, and the more experience we can get him, the better he's going to be as the season goes on.
You won 85 games last year. You got 85 now, so you got 27 in hand at this point.
Yeah, we got some games to play, and hopefully we got a lot more wins in us.
Lou, it feels like watching the team play, watching the team win in every situation possible, that this is the team of destiny. Does it sometimes get that feeling?
I don't believe in destiny. I believe in good pitching and good defense and timely hitting. That's destiny. When you do enough of that, you create your own destiny.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Well, Lou didn't want to touch that team of destiny comment, but right now they're looking pretty good in the National League Central. A 7-game bulge over Milwaukee, 10.5 games up on the Cardinals. The Brewers will open a series in Pittsburgh tonight. And Dan, obviously the first Major League win for Jeff Samardzija. He gets the old beer shower in the clubhouse. Is that the baseball tradition?
And he'll remember that for a long time. He's really developing into a big part of this bullpen. And I think Lou touched on something that's really important. If they can get another guy in the mix there in the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning, and not just rely on Carlos Marmol. If they can get Bobby Howard, looks like last couple appearances, he's thrown the ball better. This could be a very deep and a very talented bullpen, and you're going to need that the last couple of weeks in the season, and particularly when you get into the postseason.
Time now for our Feldco star of the game, and obviously when you hit a go-ahead home run, it's hard not to go with Alfonso Soriano.
Well, you know what? When he gets hot, Mark, he can hit him in bunches, and he takes an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, inner third of the plate, and doesn't miss it. It's what makes this team so dangerous, Mark, is it's a different guy every day. They don't rely on one aspect to score runs. They don't completely rely on their starting pitching or the bullpen. It's been a real nice combination of timely hitting, good pitching, good bullpen, some good base running. It's just a real good team that they're just not one-dimensional where they have to have certain things go right. They don't live and die with the home run. They can manufacture runs. They can score on base hits. They can go from first to third. They've got some real good players in the primes of their careers, some good young players that bring some energy. And one thing that they have that not a lot of teams do, they have some depth in that starting rotation, and they have some depth in that bullpen.
And with the wind blowing in, we kind of knew this would be a pitcher's game. Lou Piniella referenced the fact that Kerry Wood was not available today. He had pitched the last 4 nights, an inning in each of those games. So Carlos Marmol was called on to try to get a 5-out save. Let's check out our Kawasaki Let the Good Times Roll stat of the game. This one involves Carlos. He does indeed get the 5-out save, striking out 3. Dan, it looks like he's right back to where he was early in the season, that devastating slider and the good fastball.
Well, one of the things, if you go through that last at-bat with Chase Utley, he threw him, I believe, 6 or 7 sliders. And the last pitch, the 3-2 pitch, was another slider. And Chase Utley's about as good as there is in the National League. So he was actually able to see 5 or 6 consecutive sliders, and that swing and miss on the last pitch has to really tell you that the rotation is really tight again on his breaking ball. Chase Utley is a good hitter, and that pitch right there is the one that he had in his back pocket the first 2.5 months of the season. Able to throw one breaking ball to get it over for a strike, still has a good fastball, but to be able to throw that pitch to Chase Utley after he had repeated that pitch over and over again has to really let you know that the rotation is tight. It's got that good down break on it. So it looks like right now he's throwing the ball like he did in April and May, and that's not good for the teams that the Cubs are going to be playing.
Carlos threw a lot of innings early in the season. He was slumping just before the All-Star break. Matter of fact, he got selected for the All-Star team. His earned run average was over 4, but then he had the good inning there that seemed to pick up his spirits. Does a player get recharged throughout the course of a season, especially a pitcher who's used a lot?
Well, you're going to go through some ups and downs, and particularly with the young pitcher. You know, he's been asked to do a lot more in the early part of the season this year than he was last year. He kind of emerged on the scene late June, early July. Was a very important part of that bullpen the last 2.5 months of the season. Coming into spring training this year, he was looked at to be one of the go-to guys in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning. There was talk that maybe he should have been the closer. And when you're thrust into a spot like that, and every time that you come in games, the game is on the line, and you go through a little bit of some ups and some downs and failures. And really, for the first time in late May and early June, he had 2 or 3 back-to-back games in a row that were subpar from him. And as a young pitcher, it's only natural that you begin to start overthinking, overanalyzing, and it goes on your entire career. You fight this, and for a guy that needs to use his slider as much as he does, pitching is all feel. And when you're in one of those good rhythms where you don't think about how you're going to throw it, how you're going to hold it, it just happens. And then you get knocked off your bike, and it takes a while as a young player to get back on that bike and trust that you can do it again. And until you've been up and down enough times to realize that if you have a couple of bad games, you know you're going to be able to bounce back.
One thing we know for sure, opposing hitters hate facing Carlos Marmol. He holds them to about as low a batting average as any reliever in baseball. Phillies jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and we knew that runs would be at a premium, so close calls, base running mistakes sometimes can make the difference in a close game. We had a little bit of everything in the middle innings. Let's look at the Cubs' 6th inning. They put 2 men on, potentially a big inning, but they had to scratch and claw to try to get a run across.
Well, unfortunately, you know, this looked like an inning that the Cubs might be able to break this game open. Here you have 1st and 2nd and nobody out. Aramis Ramirez gets a fastball. He gets jammed right here. So now you're thinking, okay, 1st and 2nd. And then Jim Edmonds hits this one off the end of the bat here. So now you have second and third, and you're still thinking, okay, we're one hit away from, you know, a base hit could possibly bring in 2 runs. And this was a big play right here. And I think Bob touched on something at home. If you look at the angle that this ball ricochets back towards the wall, it's very difficult when you're standing on third base because you don't have a good angle to see how far that ball goes to the left there. And it's a tough read. You have to really make sure that that ball is far enough away so you can score.
Your old buddy Scott Air coming on in relief to face Fukudoma, and he walked him with the bases loaded.
A tough pitch, a very tough pitch to take. It was down. It was a ball, a very tough pitch to take. A frustrating pitch as a pitcher when you make a pitch like that, but it was down.
Even Kosuke wasn't sure if that was a ball or a strike. Let's go to the 7th inning. The Phillies had a chance possibly to go ahead. Potential double play ball here, but Chase Utley beats it.
Well, he just simply outruns the White Rabbit right here. He beats his play. This was a good call. He was safe. You know, as a left-hander, you have a bit of an advantage. You're a step closer with your swing going towards first base. It was a good call. He was definitely safe.
Then Ryan Howard up next hits the shot off D. Lee, and Jeff Samardzij's got to get over to cover the bag.
He does a tremendous job, and D. Lee does a great job of feeding him, but I can tell you right now that both Lee and Samardzij were drinking the blue Kool-Aid that we drank because the Cubs caught a break here. This looks like Ryan Howard was safe at first.
Well, Ryan Howard not exactly a speed demon going down the line, and maybe that played a part in it as well.
Well, you know, and it has to be frustrating for a team like the Phillies because this Cub team has really been firing in all cylinders, and they're doing now what all good teams do. They take advantage of some opportunities or some breaks, and that's just what happened.
Surprised Charlie didn't get tossed there. But anyway, Jeff Samardzij gets his first Major League victory. Carlos Marmol, the 5-out save. We're just getting started here on Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. As we head to our first break, let's check out today's Buick Pontiac GMC opinion poll. We're already looking ahead. Lou Piniella isn't, but we are. Which potential first-round playoff opponent would you least like to face? Your options: the Mets, the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, who swept the Cubs out of the playoffs last year, the Dodgers, or the Rockies, who are all of a sudden making the late run in the NL West. Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com, click the link to Chicago, go to the Cubs page to make your selection. We'll bring you the results a little bit later on Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. If you missed today's Cubs game, Comcast customers can go to channel 999 and watch Cubs games on Comcast Sportsnet On Demand. Cubs games on Comcast Sportsnet On Demand, only on Comcast, subject to availability.
Nobody's going to have a better price.
Doesn't hurt to look. Don't say it, don't say it.
Nobody had a better price.
You said it.
Lowe's believes you'll get the best price around with our everyday low price guarantee.
We'll take it.
Find a better price on anything we sell, and we'll match it plus take an additional 10% off.
Maybe we should shop around. Trust me, just buy it.
Lowe's, let's build something together. So get the best price around with our everyday low price guarantee.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by American Chartered Bank. American Chartered, the bank for your business. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
This quote of the week is brought to you by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. For an insurance quote for auto, home, life, or business, please call Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich at 847-825-4783.
The Lincoln launch event ends in 4.
You got it.
1. Just announced. Now get Lincoln MKX with 0% financing for 72 months until September 2nd during the Lincoln launch.
Menards is your headquarters for outdoor lumber. Right now, cedar decking and lumber is on sale. Cedar is naturally resistant to rot and decay, which makes it perfect for outdoor projects. Starting at $5.99 for an 8-foot 2x4. AC2 Micro Pro treated lumber is ideal for any construction. It has a lighter, more natural color. It's an environmentally preferable product with an Osmos lifetime limited warranty. On sale now, starting at $169.
Save big money at Menards.
Looking for a great new job?
Airland Transport is currently hiring drivers. If you have a Class A license, this is an outstanding opportunity to work for a locally owned company that offers competitive wages and benefits, paid holidays, and more. Airland Transport is looking for good people like you to continue providing quality transportation service. Do you want to be home daily? Tired of where you're currently working? Give Airland a call today at 800-224-2899 or visit us in East Moline.
Time now for our Four Seasons Who's Hot, Who's Not. Some baseball people thought Carlos Delgado might be washed up, but he's heated up over the last 7 days. 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Mike Cameron giving the Brewers some consistent production in center field, and Tim Lincecum quietly having an outstanding season for the Giants. As for the other extreme, Mark Reynolds, Jeff Kent suffering through a tough week at the plate, while former White Sox reliever David Riskey, well, he's up to his old tricks in Milwaukee. Interesting pitching matchup today out at Wrigley Field. A pair of former Oakland A's squaring off. Both Rich Harden and Joe Blanton were traded to the National League last month. Blanton had struggled in his 7 previous starts. He gave up 4 runs or more in 3 of them. But he was pretty good against the Cubs today. He held them without a hit until 2 outs in the 4th inning. Blanton charged with 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings. As for Harden, he struggled with his command at times. Took him 100 pitches just to get through 5. He only gave up 3 hits, but walked 4 to go along with 5 strikeouts. And Dan, last time out, he struck out 11, walked no one.
He just wasn't as sharp. He started the game out, was able to get 2 outs, literally on 4 pitches, and it looked like he was going to go ahead and be on cruise control. And he just wasn't as sharp as we've seen him. His fastball was a little bit down. At times he touched 93, 94, but he pitched right around the 90, 91 mile an hour range. And uncharacteristically, he was falling behind in 2-1 counts using his fastball, not able to throw good quality strikes. And every pitcher is going to have days like this, Mark. I mean, as good as he's been, he's entitled to have some days where he just doesn't have it. And unfortunately, or fortunately for him, that should tell you how good his stuff is, that he's had a couple of games like this, and yet he's been able to keep the runs to a minimum.
And the Cubs are very aware of his injury history, so they were not going to take any chances. They knew he didn't have his best stuff. He threw 100 pitches, so they said 5 innings. That's enough. Rich Harden did meet with the media after the game. Let's go to the Wrigley Field interview room.
Yeah, it was just one of those days. I really didn't have much going for me. You know, it was a battle, and command is a big issue for me. If it's not there, then it's tough. You know, when you're giving guys free bases, putting guys on base, and 5 innings of work. And fortunately, the bullpen did a great job today, shutting them down, and I was pretty impressed with that.
Rich, it looked like your fastball maybe didn't have velocity. Sounds like that wasn't. Sometimes I know you did it on purpose. You scaled back. It sounds like that wasn't the case, though. You just didn't maybe have the zip, or.
Yeah, it was just one of those days, and I mean, if my command's not there, throwing the ball harder is not necessarily going to help me. So instead, sometimes I'll take something off and try and hit my spots, and it's more important for me to do that than to throw hard.
Was it kind of strange going against Blanton?
Yeah, it was fun. We talked about it before, and I think we were pretty excited we got to match up against each other. And he did a great job today. He's got really good stuff, and he battled through today and did well.
You watch your teammates win games in all kinds of improbable ways. Does it kind of boggle your mind a little bit to watch all this going on here?
Not really. I mean, I don't think anybody's really too surprised. The lineup we have, and I think everybody's pretty confident. When we're down a couple runs, late in the game, we got a lot of guys that can step up at the plate and get it done, and I think having that confidence really helps.
Rich, 35 games over 500 just being a baseball player. Can you describe that kind of feeling? How many teams can do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive when you sit back and think about it. But I mean, with this team, I know we can do something special. We got a lot of depth in the lineups. Our hitters are outstanding, and our pitchers are. So I think we can win some games.
When you give up 2 runs in 5 innings and you call it not a very good outing, the bar is pretty high for somebody like you. I mean, you must feel like you shouldn't give up any runs anytime you're out.
Well, I expect a lot out of myself. I mean, every time out, I think I always had high expectations, and today, I mean, you know, difference in one pitch. You know, I mean, it could have been, you know, 5 runs instead of 2. You know, it wasn't really far off from that. You know, there's a lot of guys on bases, and I think almost every inning, you know, is, you know, got out of it. You know, got some good defense from the guys, and that always helps. And it's just one of those days. You know, it's just one pitch can mean the difference, and you know.